Welcome to Fire-Breathing Kittens, a standalone actual play tabletop role-playing podcast. Every episode we play a different rule set, have a varied set of characters, and a self-contained microplot of a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macroplot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these episodes in any order and skip any you don't enjoy. Today is a special episode because this one will be one of two companion episodes. Companion episodes are fun experiments where we can take two different sets of players and put them in the same story. Will they make wildly different choices? Maybe. Listen to the end and find out. Today, we are playing using the game mechanics from a game called Risus Epic. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Risus Epic from the website www.risusiverse.com/home/optional-rules/Risus-epic, and Risusiverse is spelled RISUSIVERSE. This rule set is fairly light, easy to pick up, and is well suited to imaginative roleplay, so our players today should feel right at home. Speaking of players, today we are joined by Sadie Duca.
Hey, I'm Sadie Duca, definitely. I am a Macrotus elf. I have wide flat ears, silver hair, and did you know that interest over time leads to a big bank account? I have a D16 dice in that. I also am a cottage dweller. I know how to make my own beer and cheese. I have a D16 in that. And I have a D6 in being a summoner of those beyond the veil. Sometimes I poke at the divide between worlds and I bring things over. Totally normal, nothing to see here. And lastly, I have a D16 in memory loss and culture shock. Sometimes I really don't know what's going on. But I do know that today's vocab words are, there's 10 of these, here we go. Loggerheads means numbskulls. Proof of constancy is a test of endurance. Tetchy is easily irritated by unimportant things. Bilbos are fetters. Belike is with certainty. Out means angry. Bobbling means small. Gleek is to mock, meshes is net, and carded means to mix with something base.
Thank you, Sadie. Next, we have Mary Elizabeth Stewart.
Good morrow. My name is Mary Elizabeth Stewart. I be from London, though now I know that not everyone here knows of that place. I have brown hair, brown eyes, and ruddy skin, and I wear a pale blue linen kirtle with a front lace bodice over a white smock. Now, people have been listening for a little bit. I'm trying to do an old Elizabethan accent, which doesn't really have a whole lot of information around it. So I'm doing my best. But each time I play, I try and do a little bit more of the accent. So I'm focusing a little bit more on the A sounds, the Y sounds, and the E-A sounds. So like beer is bear and ruddy should be ruddy. And make is like Mac. So we're going for it.
Yes. D&D is a learning experience.
Yes. The Risus game runs with cliches with a die component. So my cliches are cognitive dissonance with a D16. Nobility wannabe. That's also a D16. Uncontrollable magical power is a D10, and suspicious of witches is a D10.
Excellent. And finally, joining us today, we have Bartholomew Salvador.
Oh, it's good to meet everyone again. I'm Bartholomew Salvador. I'm a 6'2" human man with auburn hair, white skin, and blue eyes, wearing a green regimental coat with beige facings, beige breeches, and a black tricorn hat. My Risus Epic stats are as follows. I am a marksman with a D10, a cavalier with a D10 as well. That's fairly skilled. A calligrapher and survivalist both at D12s, which is average. But I would say my calligraphy skills are above average, but others wouldn't say as much. Have you read my pamphlet, The Inspirer?
The GM has a standing subscription to the Inspirer. It is inspiring.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, as our players mentioned, they have cliches, which are part of the game, and they're effectively the stats for each player and will be incorporated as to how they solve problems or how they interact if there's some kind of challenge to be had. So let's see what the story has for them today. So you're all starting off in the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild's cozy, warm interior is inviting, and in the back there's a bar, a seating area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard where the job flyers are normally posted. It's a Saturday morning, and the guild hall today is almost completely empty. The only other person here besides you three is Nusi the bartender. She calls to each of you, asking what you want for breakfast in an attempt to break the silent monotony that permeates the guild hall.
Good morrow, Nusi. My usual breakfast bear plays.
All right, yes, eggs, bacon, asparagus, a bit of hashed potatoes, and a stout coffee. Coming right up.
Pardon me, Nusi. Could you add a second coffee to that just for me, please?
Oh, yes. And how do you take your coffee, sir?
Black.
You got it. Thanks for making it easy. She goes and prepares your food and drink. And you, the only other person in this guild hall, would you like anything to eat or drink?
I think she'd also like a coffee. Add a third one to that, and be sure to add some of that sugar and cream.
Okay. You got it. Give me just a second. So Nusi goes off to prepare food, and the coffees come out right away. Very simple, as you can imagine.
As the coffees come out and they're placed before Mary and Bart, Mary just kind of looks at it and like sniffs it. Like she's very new to drinking coffee, and she adds a bunch of sugar. Like she reaches into a pouch at her side and takes out like 5 sugar cubes and just adds it to the cup of coffee.
I can just see her taking a sip after each one, crinkling the nose, adding another one, stir.
Exactly. And she will look to Bart as she's still trying to get like the perfect ratio and says, "Thou takest thine coffee black."
Yes, I'm fairly used to it. In fact, it's quite refreshing, very homely, very nostalgic, if one might say, because it's something I've grown up on. I've been drinking coffee ever since I was a child.
Oh, that is interesting. Coffee is a new drink to me. I have never had anything quite like it before.
I can imagine, yes. When I was first had it as a child, it was very strong and I didn't like it. But in order to keep myself up during the swarms of revenants on my town, I'd need it. It became sort of a tradition.
Revenants? What be'st that?
Hordes of undead from Summerfell Mansion. Summerfell Manor, I should say. Is where I live there in Pine Drake. Are you not from around here, are you?
Nay. I am from London. Hast thou heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Not a single one has. But
sounds very enchanting.
Quite. Thine home, though, 'tis run with the devil. Hordes of the living dead 'tis dangerous and cursed, is it not?
Yes, very much so. That's why I'm out here and have joined the Fire-Breathing Kittens to look for a cure to this curse that plagues my home. And I've found many leads.
Oh, well, congratulations is in place then.
Yeah, manner of speaking is rather peculiar, but it is inspiring, I should say. Maybe it would inspire my next edition of my magazine. Here, you can have this one for free. And he hands you his magazine.
Okay.
The Inspire. I'm not sure if you're very well read, but this is...
Indeed, I am. Though I does not blame thee for thinking I am not. Most women where I am from are indeed poor of letters and have not known their crisscross.
So.
And then in return, she'll go and take some sugar cubes out of her pocket, and she doesn't put them in your coffee, but she places them next to your coffee and says, if thou wouldst try some sugar, I find it quite nice in mine coffee, and my Pegasus does enjoy it as well.
Bartholomew smiles and says, I have tried coffee with sugar and cream before, and it was very much like a treat. I'll extend this as an offer of good faith, and we share our sugared coffee together. And he dips the, yep, that's a toast to new friends. It's wonderful to meet you, Mary.
Likewise.
I just want to check in with Sadie. Are you still dozing comfortably?
Yeah, until food gets set down next to her, jolting the table, making a loud plate sound next to her very large ear. And then she starts and lifts her head and looks at Nusi, the person who set the plates down, and says, I apologize, Nusi, for being such a loggerhead. I don't know why you all start these things so early in the day.
Well, you know what they say, early bird gets the worm. I mean, look at that job board over there. And you see the job board is completely empty.
Aww.
And she's like, yeah, there were a bunch of groups here earlier, and they got busy. Well, I guess you snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you're a little bit less sleep deprived than I am.
I
feel like
true.
you all work way too much. You know, you have food, you can stop. I swear, the more I stay here, the more I feel you're perhaps creating the difficulties of life for yourself. I mean, without sleep, am I losing it? I feel like I'm seeing things. Surely that can't be Mary over there. I mean, gosh, I need to go back to sleep again.
Didst thou call my name?
It's even talking to me. This is way too far for hallucination. Perhaps I need some of that coffee. Do you all... Okay, I'm always seeing things that aren't there. Okay, question. Do you all see the lightning bird? And I point to the lightning bird next to me.
Yes.
Yay, verily.
Okay. Do you all see the giant rat? And I point to nothing.
No.
Nay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Bartholomew
leave-
is a bit concerned, like, wait, where's the Oh, okay. No.
Oh, gross. It has this white fur and this awful, rat tail and giant... Anyway, I'm going to leave that one alone. And I'm just going to say, now do you see this human woman drinking creamed coffee with Bart?
Oh, yes. This is Mary. Just met her this morning.
No, that's my friend from my old life.
Sorry.
Sadie? What do you...
Art thou confused, Sadie? I have not known one such as you in London.
Oh, well, of course you don't know Sadie, but the person inside, Anne and Mary,
Anne?
were best of friends.
Anne?
Yeah, I'm Anne.
Anne, is that you?
See, and now it recognizes me. I need to go back to sleep.
But...
Wait, no, don't go back to sleep. Explain yourself. Sadie.
My ears flop on the table, my head on my hands, and what you hope is not a giant rat definitely doesn't make scratching noises from below the floorboards.
Mary just like exchanges a look with Bart, like, that is Sadie. Yeah?
Yes, this is Sadie, but she's
Sadie
called herself...
Duca.
Yes, but she calls herself Anne inside of Sadie. And I have no idea what that means. But you seem to recognize someone named Anne.
Indeed, tis my friend, my good friend. And there's like a little bit of a it's like Mary's trying to recall something, but simultaneously like can't quite get it. It's like on the tip of her tongue. So instead, she just like shakes her head a little bit and says, Does Sadie refer to Anne as Anne Jopling?
I've never heard her even say Anne until this morning, actually. I'm not sure if her last name is Jopling, but I would assume, as crazy as things are here in Nicomoy, I would assume yes, maybe so. We'll have to ask her when she wakes up.
Mary takes an invigorating swig of her sugared coffee and goes right over to Sadie.
I'll order some more coffee.
Oh, coming right up.
She goes and just straight up shakes Sadie's shoulder. Awaken.
I'm awake. Don't be so touchy, spirit.
Touchy. What does touchy mean to you?
Touchy, easily irritated by unimportant things. Wait, how did you touch me?
Indeed. It's Anne Jopling. Yes.
Mary? No.
Yes. Anne, I've been looking for you.
How are you here? Oh my gosh, I'll give you a big hug.
Big hug. There's just like so much hugging and like jumping right now.
Jump. No, I thought everyone from my old life was gone. I thought I was in this strange world with its potatoes and tomatoes and coffee.
So many strange things, yes?
So many.
But there is an abundance of sugar, and she pulls out a sugar cube. She's like, "'Tis real sugar, Anne."
Yes, they're all so rich in gold and sugar and wealth beyond the wildest imagination, but they continue to work. Why?
Indeed. And the cleanliness.
It's horrible.
There's a thing called indoor plumbing.
Why?
Tis magic. And I and you can, there's like a little bit of that like scratch on the recorder sort of thing. She's trying to remember something, but it's just not getting it. She said, I knew that I had come here and you were here too, but I didn't know how to find you. How are you here?
I'm inside an elf. I was inside a cat briefly. Back in the elf now. I was in my previous life. I started out as a bobbling babe, a tiny, human, but this time I am fully formed. And this Sadie person has acquaintances, and I have a family. She perhaps would be very out with me if she found out that I am in her body.
How passing strange, as though there were the plan of God here. I came here as myself. I'd have thought you did too, but this spirit, body connection, 'tis odd. Hast thou found a way to get to thine own body?
I have experimented with what are the bilbos tying me to this place. I mean, and I poke at the ground, and I'm like, come here. And then I'm like, ow, sorry. This one is not friendly. And I kick it, and from out of nowhere, a possum goes flying through the air and lands on the skitters on the ground and like rotates a bit, tail to front as it scratches and tries to stop sliding across the ground. And I'm like, that was in the basement.
Thou art a powerful being, Anne.
Oh gosh, no. And then the possum is like running and hiding. And I'm like, I think I'm not really here. And I can see things that aren't really here too.
Then thou art touched mayhaps by the devil as well.
No, gosh, no. I do the cross. Quick,
yeah,
cross.
we both do the cross.
And I'm like, no, I fear that I am perhaps this is just a proof of constancy before I do meet the heavens, because perhaps I have a bit more time. This Sadie person, when I switched with a cat, she did not come back. She did not return. I think perhaps she is fleeing something or facing something internally, but maybe she needs me just to drive the carriage for a little bit. Not the one that ran me over, just in general. Take the reins and steer her through a bit of a rough patch.
There is definitely like a little bit of association as soon as you say like drive the carriage, not the one that hit me. And Mary's just like, right. 'Tis why we're here. Well, let's not dwell on such. I myself have strange power, and she will try to conjure up power, but it is like her magic is uncontrollable. So there's just a little like probably just like a little buzzing at her fingertips.
How
she
much
says,
greater than before, Mary? You've come such a long way. And then we get interrupted before she can get more information out of me about that.
yeah.
So while you're going back and forth and rediscovering each other, the front door to the guild hall opens, and in walks Nulasag. So he's a 2-foot-tall dwarf. He's your boss as a fire-breathing kitten, and he's accompanied by a very, very, very old dwarf. And she is just under 2 feet tall, with medium-length white hair and jade-green eyes. And they make their way slowly to the nearest table, but it is obvious that the dwarf is having difficulty walking. Not Nulasag, but his companion. And so they're making their way to the table. And as they do so, Nulasag sees the three of you and says, "Oh, I'm so glad some guild members are here today. I have a mission for you. Well, maybe not so much a mission, more of a request. This is my Gam-Gam, Sanoja. Gam-Gam, these are some of the guild members. This is Sadie, and this is Bartholomew, and this is Mary." And she nods courteously, but she's trying to make her way to the table before she engages you fully.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Sanoja and Nulasag.
Would it be rude to try and help her towards the table? I feel like that'd be rude.
I think that's the opposite of rude. I think that's what a proper person would do. So
yeah.
Don't hold back.
Mary will go ahead after just being like, pat on the arm for Anne, go over and help her to the table and, give her a boost if she needs help getting into the chair.
Oh, she warmly grabs your arm and she's like, "Oh, thank you, dear. I'm so glad there are people here with manners. You were right, Nulasag. Your group is fantastic." And so she makes her way onto the chair and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry for not saying hello properly when I was introduced to you. My name is Sanoja, and, oh, what a great-looking bunch of people you are. You're so adorable. Come here, I have some candy for each of you." She reaches into her coin purse, and she's got the standard assortment of older woman candy, butterscotch toffees, a ball of hard candy stuck together, and then she gives you each a butterscotch.
Excellent. Maria just immediately pops that in. She loves sugar. Her teeth are starting to turn black.
Well, thank you, miss. I appreciate this gesture. He takes the candy and tastes it. He doesn't have a lot of sugar. He tries to avoid sweet things, but today seems to be an exception. There seems to be two friends of long age past reunited, and, we're celebrating with some sweets today.
And she likewise takes a butterscotch, and while she's kind of moving it around her mouth, she'll move it to the side so she can continue to speak to you. She's like, "I'm afraid you've caught me at quite a bad time. I'm usually much more robust than this. I haven't been taking my medicine, you see, and, I've been taking it for as long as I can remember, and it's helped me to be as energetic as a young bull. Tastes awful, though, and it's a bit like a bitter ball of tinfoil that burns all the way down and all the way out. There was a company that used to make plenty of it, but now the supplies are so scarce. The only person I know who makes it now is Duncan at his pharmacy, and if you could be a dear and go up to Shireford Upon Emou and get me maybe 2 doses, I would greatly appreciate it." And Nulasag kind of looks at you with wide eyes, nodding discreetly. "And I haven't felt this terrible in some time, so I could do with a dose and maybe 2, so I don't have to keep pestering people to go up there. And, let's see." And she digs around her coin purse again, and she says, "I believe each dose is about 1 gold, so here's 2 gold. She slides them across the table to you. 1 for each dose, and you're just so fantastic. Let me give you a little something. She reaches back in her coin purse, and she takes out 3 silver coins and says, here's a silver for each of you, because, I just love meeting new people. Young people just make the world go round. I'm so excited to meet you. Spend that wherever you like.
I do appreciate this silver. Silver means so much to me. You have no idea. And he takes the silver piece and looks in and says, this will be an emergency bullet, most likely. Keep it for good luck.
'Tis generous of you, madam.
Oh, well, it's no worry. I try to be generous when I can.
Oh, we shall assuredly get your medicine.
Oh, sorry, I should probably tell you what medicine it is. Me in my old age, I'm usually much sharper than this. Must be the lack of medicine. It's called Holden Boldy's Golden Moldies. And, just say HBGM for short. That's what I say. Don't have a lot of time to waste on lengthy medicine names. But Duncan should know exactly what you're talking about. Golden Moldies. Holden Moldies, Golden Moldies.
I'm scared of the future.
Where does the name? What kind of medicine name is that? It's a catchy one.
It's an old one. They tried to market it probably 200 years ago, but never got widespread acceptance. Probably the taste, you see.
Well, mayhaps we can sprinkle some sugar on there.
Oh, please.
Make it go down a little easier.
No, dear, please don't. They tried to make it more palatable to get more widespread acceptance, but it just nullifies the effect, and it would be like just tasting terrible nothing. I would be, just as it is. I will be a strong lady and take it. And then after, of course, I'll have perhaps a nice cup of tea with sugar.
Very wise. An effective medicine is better than a carded one.
Mayhaps Bart should carry the medicine then, as he stays away from sugar.
Yes, quite. I could see that, but I'm not sure why I would need... because you two love sugar. I see. Yes. Speaking of I was going to say, speaking of sugar, and he has the coffees ready, I made sure to have these filled with plenty of sugar and sweets. And it's your typical venti, like mocha, caramel, with all the works. It gives them to both of you.
Mary still adds a cube of sugar to it.
She does
Many
not
times.
gleek you, Bartholomew. Sugar was so rare for us where we came from that it is quite the luxury.
Well, quite happy to be giving you to something that you both very desperately want and need, it seems like.
Well, then to Shireford Upon Emou then.
Oh, bless you, child. I am so happy to have met such kind adventurers. Nulasag, you really do hire the best. You weren't stretching the truth at all.
We are fire-breathing kittens, madam. We always do our best.
Oh, could you each show me your tattoo? It isn't anywhere inappropriate, is it?
It's okay.
I
Mary
show her
blushes like it's not inappropriate, but she basically is just like she pulls up her arm and then pulls down her sleeve all the way to the armpit, and you can see like just in like the crease of the armpit it's in there because she doesn't want anybody, like, it's a tattoo, you know, like she doesn't want anybody to see it. So yeah, she just like shows it really quickly and then puts it back down. It's like, indeed.
I've never seen it there before.
Bartholomew shows his tattoo. He lifts up his waistcoat and shows her his shoulder, where he keeps his, on the back of his shoulder. Just very discreetly, not out in the open, but very proudly worn on the back of on his back. Very, very large.
Sadie extends her hand and says, I found mine here. And you can see it in very small in black ink on her wrist beneath her palm.
Delightful. Nothing more like commitment. That's how you really know who your friends are. Oh. And as Gam Gam continues to speak, you can see her energy levels just kind of dropping. She says, "Oh, if you don't mind, dear, I'm just going to sit for a bit and enjoy my butterscotch. I hope you do the same." "What, the butterscotch bit, not the sitting bit?"
She's so freaking cute. All right, I'm ready to get this woman some medicine.
Yes, quite.
Shall we away and anon?
Mm-hmm. Does anyone remember the name of that city we're supposed to go to?
Shireford Upon Emou. And in, not accented, it's Shireford Upon Emou. We're supposed to get it from Duncan at his pharmacy. And it's called Holden Boldy's Golden Moldies, or HBGM. And don't add sugar. Put that in big letters. And I'm thinking, I know she only wanted two doses of it, I guess, but I feel like we should just get their entire stock unless it has an expiration date.
Yeah, Sadie has a bunch of money.
Yeah.
It's all about that interest rate.
If they still have it.
Oh.
No, that might be it as well.
I had not had that thought.
Well, we'll bring a cart and we'll buy what we can and wheel it home with us.
So when you say a cart, meaning like a wagon pulled by horses, or what do you mean?
I'm a little bit PTSD about those still, even though I try not to be. So I'm genuinely a hand cart that I will carry behind me, like a little red wagon.
Okay.
Well, I do have a mount, a Pegasus. Her name is Princess. You may ride with me, Anne.
Oh, this seems parlous. Okay. All right. Okay. And I get on it. Yeah.
Yes.
On that Pegasus. We hook up the cart behind it.
You hook up the cart behind? No, not in the sky. Leave me to the cart. I have my own horse, the Alistar.
Oh, that's true.
It'd be rather difficult for the Pegasus to carry it in the sky.
Well, the Pegasus doesn't have to fly, although
That's
that is
true.
handy.
Ah, true. Yes. It does just function as a horse.
I was thinking we could all just if you have a horse, we can just ride ride down the road, I can't imagine this medicine is going to be super heavy.
Well, I was not here for this, but I shall keep an eye out. Can I take a brief whirl with you in the sky on yours and see what I find up there?
Oh, yay, indeed, Anne. Okay, so we go saddle up, get started on the road, and pretty much immediately, Mary just turns to Bart and is like, "Bart, we shall find ye again, but we shall take a quick sprig in the sky."
See to it then. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your reunion.
And Mary just says, "Up and away, princess." And the Pegasus lifts off, flapping their wings into the sky. And we just circle Nicomoy and kind of go across the coast, kind of get down to the water as much as Princess is comfortable. And just basically have I imagine we're just going around the city and the coast until we're ready to get back down.
Well, I have an eye out. So I'm just kind of singing out, "Are there any air spirits out here?" Not you, bird. "Are there any air spirits out here? I do not emboss you. I am just here to does the air quicken with perhaps the spirit of a mount that I might ride? I don't know how this works, so anybody hear me?" And then as we ride around in the air, indeed, I see a sparkle and I'm like, "There!" And I point to the sky.
I don't know if Mary exactly sees, but she just heads straight, she goes according to your direction and guides Princess over to where those sparkles are.
Okay. Methinks there's something here. I shall poke it. And I poke it. And I keep poking it. And I'm like, okay, here goes. And I pull the sky apart. And there's a wind horse. It's a horse. Ooh. And it's got little whirlwinds around its hooves.
That's cool.
I think it was implied with when you said wind horse. So are you mounting this wind horse while in the sky?
Well, so here's the thing. I'm just a summoner. I didn't necessarily make it my friend. And so there's now a horse in the sky. And I'm like, hello. Mary, how do you befriend a horse?
She gives you like 5 sugar cubes. This is literally how she befriended her Pegasus princess. So she just gives that to you. She's like, go for it.
Okay. I hold out 5 sugar cubes and I say, hello, my Bawcock friend. May I please give you these sugar cubes?
I'm going to actually have you roll for this. If you have a fortune die, please roll it and communicate the number that you roll.
I got a 3.
3.
2.
2 for Bartholomew.
Aren't we all at D8 because of the level we're at?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow, that was a 1.
Ah.
So the highest number was a 3, and that means that amongst the team, you have 3 opportunities to lower a cliché die. Anybody in the group can use it, and you can use it for any role. On that note, what cliché would you like to use to try to impress this horse? And what you'll have to do is try to beat the target number.
I would like to use my Summoner of Those Beyond the Veil.
And what die size is that?
A D6.
All right, let me know what you roll.
I got a 6, the worst I could roll.
Yes, thankfully, the target level was not very difficult. I wanted to say you're going to pass no matter what because of your die size, but it adds more drama if I don't tell you that. So you pass. And the wind horse, is that what you called it? Yes. The wind horse gladly takes the sugar from you, knowing what it is, and eats it up, and then will start nuzzling your head, trying to avoid the flapping wings of the Pegasus. Can somehow move around, nuzzle you, and then back away to avoid the wing flap, and then kind of head motions you over and uses one of its hooves to go like, come on. Oh, you know what? It can talk. Come on.
Nice.
Aw, it was Revan. Come here, you Caitliff. And I hop on it.
It whinnies, but like the happiest whinny you've ever heard. Like,
I shall call you Caitliff.
sounds good to me. Where are we going?
Shireford Upon Emou. But first, back to our friend. There's another horse for you to meet, and its rider.
All right. Well, while you were circling the sky and then encountering this new horse, Bartholomew is going steadily down the road on Alistair, his horse. And I want you to give me a roll of a cliché that has something to do with awareness, either specific or general.
Oh no, and then our friend got eaten by giant spiders while we were away.
Oh no.
Bummer.
The possums in the basement were looking for blood.
Always sharp-eyed from my hometown of Pine Drake, on the lookout of revenants. As a marksman, I always had to keep tabs on, to my left and right, forward, backwards, even above sometimes. So I'm going to roll marksman as a way of looking around.
All right.
I rolled a 5.
Oh, that is excellent. So as you're traveling along the road next to the river, it's a lovely day. It's just beautiful. The weather's perfect, slight breeze, flowers in full bloom, twittering birds. But you hear something over the sound of the river, and it's the growing sound, very familiar to you as a cavalier also, the growing sound of thundering hooves coming from behind you, like coming from Nicomoy. And because of your excellent roll, you can identify that there are at least 3 carriages being pulled and are very loudly coming your way very fast.
Alistar, we need to make it off the side of the road. And I'm going to quickly control Alistar so he can get off away to safety.
All right. I would like you to
get out of the way of these carriages.
I guess pick a cliche because they're coming awfully fast and you suddenly see them crest the hill. 3 carriages side by side. They are taking up the whole lane as they're jockeying for position. Make a roll that would enable you to get off the road safely.
Easy. That would be Cavalier. And I rolled a 7. Pretty high. I have a D10 in Cavalier.
Oh, okay. Well, you pass. You are able to move completely out of the road and avoid getting a hit at all. However, as you make your way to the side, the person... So if you were to picture this from the perspective of walking to Shireford Upon Emou, on your left would be the Emou River, and then there's a small bit of land, then the path that you're on, and to the right is a forest. And you're making your way to the forest, and then the person on the right side of the lane that is closest to you sees you and swerves, and as the other 2 speed along, this cart ends up violently falling on its side, and the driver is thrown clear and lands in kind of in a muddy area by the river. And the contents of the cart spill everywhere. And what you see is just a mountain of gold coins scattered everywhere. And after this happens, the flying horsewomen are making their way to you, and they witness the whole thing from the sky.
Well, this will make for an interesting entry into my next edition of the Inspirer.
Sorry, not gonna lie, but like, Mary's not down for getting close to carriages moving that fast.
Well, thankfully for you, the one carriage there is now stopped and on its side, so no danger, and you weren't in the trouble zone when it was. I mean, it's as if you predicted what was about to come your way, but it worked out.
GM, we saw through your bee on the ground puzzle.
What strange happenings, Anne? Let us ensure Bart is all right.
Yes. No, yeah. We go there.
All right. As you approach, you see the driver kind of make his way up out of he's covered not completely in muck, but he's wet from the river and a little bit muddy in places, and he's about 5'9", human with blonde hair and tan skin, and he's wearing a very, very fancy suit, especially for a carriage driver. And he's just kind of wiping himself off, and his body language is one of disgust.
Okay, I got you. Mary is going to just go directly to Bart first, like notices the person, but is more concerned with her friends. Like, Bart, art thou hurt?
Oh, no, I'm fine, but this gentleman here appears to be in quite a bit of distress. I do believe we should ask if he needs some help. But look at all this gold spilled out. I wonder what's been going on here.
Indeed, it smells like a thief.
What is a thief?
A thief? A nav? Rogue? One does steals money?
What is money? Money. Thief.
Yeah.
It's just your accent. Okay.
So as you shout thief and money, the gentleman, you get his attention. He's like, excuse me, please, I'm terribly sorry for almost running you over, but if you'd be so kind as to not steal my money. I don't know if you're a thief, but you did say thief rather loudly. Are you declaring yourself a thief, or are you someone that could help?
We does declare that thou art a thief.
I'm sorry, what is a thief?
For God's sake.
She means thief.
Oh, me? A thief? Oh, please. Well, my name is Todd Winston Sinclair, and I am nothing like a thief. I was born into high society and have no need to steal anything.
But you do run people over with carriages, the greatest of crimes. Did you not notice?
please. I don't know if you witnessed exactly what happened, but I was making my way down the road, at a reasonable speed, of course, and this gentleman was on the road, and what did I do? To prevent injury, I swerved out of the way and caused great damage to my carriage, which now has to be turned upright, and we need to collect all the coins and put them back in there, and I'm running late for a meeting, and this couldn't come at a worse time.
If you were operating your vehicle at a speed that you were not able to avoid an obstacle, then you were at blame.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not very experienced as a carriage driver. I usually have an experienced carriage driver drive my carriages, but unfortunately I only have 2, and I had 3 carriages to drive, and, well, someone had to drive the 3rd one, and I saw them going quickly, so I thought I needed to go quickly, and, well, here we are.
Pride goeth before the fall.
Well, it was more than I bargained for, that's for certain, and I apologize, and if there's any way I could make it up to you, are you injured at all, my good man?
No, not at all. Myself, no.
Excellent, yes. I'm a bit worse for wear, just clothing, though. Not injured. This is going to be quite a mess. Do you know of anyone who could help overturn a cart or perhaps scoop up money and not steal it? But I would gladly pay if you could help me. Or you know anyone that could help me get on my way?
Well, we are 5 breathing kittens, and we help out those in need, and we take money as payment. Yes, this is quite the turn. Yes, we shall help.
I couldn't have almost run over a better person, I suppose. Thank you for your offer. If you could, I will do my best, but clearly I'm not physically inclined, we'll say. I need to turn my cart over and collect all these coins, and for your reward, I'd gladly pay you, I don't know, what's the going rate for that? 100 gold coins? 200? Okay, 200 gold coins works for me.
Okay, well, he's definitely rich if he's willing to do that.
I love that. So, Mary and Sadie, well, now that we know that your name is Anne, well, Anne on the inside, Sadie on the outside, should I continue
Just call
calling
me
you
Sadie Bartholomew.
Bartholomew smiles. I appreciate you allowing me to call you by the name I know you as. So, yes, Mary and Sadie, let's work together to flip this thing back onto its front. Then collect this money, and the gold could be used to buy some extra medicine if we need.
Belike he is certainly rich, but that does not necessarily mean that this situation was not intended to mesh either him or us. Why was he missing a driver? Keep your eyes open, bewares.
Yeah, so I would actually like to roll if possible. I guess this might be like versus environs. Like my cliche is suspicious of witches, but Mary really is just suspicious of anybody who is not her friend.
All right. It'll be kind of like sussing this guy out.
Yeah. I basically want to see, like at this point, I don't doubt that he's telling us bits of the truth, but he's certainly not telling us enough to know like why was he like, I don't know. I just don't trust the guy.
Okay. No, you're going with your gut. That's excellent.
I got a 4.
Oh, wow. That is excellent.
That's pretty good.
Actually, on the difficulty chart, that is extraordinary. That is the level of extraordinary. So you definitely can see what this guy's all about. You noticed, you could kind of see the transformation of body language. Like as he was dusting himself off, he was roiling with anger, but then he was able to kind of mask up before interacting with you. And he seems like overly nice, but you can see deep down he's very irritated. Like he wants to be going now. He's upset that he was interfered with, but he's just doing what he needs to do to just go along. And he'll be as nice as he needs to. He'll be as friendly, quote unquote. But you can see that he's not a very nice guy.
Verily, sir. we shall help you with your carriage.
Oh, wonderful.
And whoever would like to help, I'm going to try and try and lift the carriage, but I'm going to use my uncontrollable magic power, which has historically backfired.
Bartholomew will be using his cavalier and be using his trusty steed Alistar to kick it back over. That's what I'll be using.
All right.
Yeah. So with the backfiring part of this, of the cliche, I do want to know how you think this would do roll-wise, because
what die size do you have for that uncontrollable magic?
It's a D10.
Okay. So let's say you roll it, and it's how about you roll a D20, and if it's in the 10 area, well, no, let's make it a. I'm trying to make it so. How uncontrollable would you say it is? Like, I want you to be able to succeed. It sounds like you kind of have it under control, but if it backfires occasionally, let's make it a D12. I'm gonna penalize you one die size, and if it's an 11 or 12, it backfires.
Okay. So Mary personally would really like it to backfire. So let's see what happens. I'm going to use the dice that hate me.
This would be considered a group effort. Is Sadie going to be helping?
Yeah, but I'll let Mary explain her thing first. I'm just using my horse, so that's just my summon dice. It's my summon creature.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we're doing a team effort, then
we all roll, and the one who rolled the lowest, that's the end result. But how would that play if you roll 11 or 12?
We can do a hybrid. So let's do a team effort, and then there will be a narrative consequence if it backfires.
Okay.
Excellent.
Cool.
I got a 6.
I got a 2.
I got a 9. These dice hate me too much.
So you all three, with no problem, are able to right the cart, and Todd is just thrilled. He's just like, oh, splendid. This is wonderful. Now, about the money, how can we collect it all and put it back in the cart?
I can have my lightning bird zap it and melt it all into one, and then we could just lift it and rotate it.
No, I mean, it's still gold, but it's no longer currency, and I do prefer to spend it. I mean, I suppose we could just bend down and pick it up and put it in the cart and do it all over again and just do it several hundred times.
Can you demonstrate that for us, good sir?
Oh, yes. I'm not very physically inclined, but I assume it would be something like this. And he walks over to one. He bends over. He picks it up. He kind of goes to the cart and throws it in. He goes, there, you see? Just like that. Quite easy.
GM, how many coins are on the ground?
I would estimate 2,000.
Oh my God.
Well, it was going fast and it turned over, not secured in the best way.
Sure. I'm glad. He did it once just to demonstrate, so yeah.
I am unhappy with this. And it's like, I don't want to spend too much time because I know we've got to get to Shireford Upon Emou. But at the same time, I have a bad feeling about this guy. So maybe as like we're picking up gold pieces, I'll like whisper to Bart and to Anne, there's something strange about this man. He truly rages inside, but masks it greatly.
You're suggesting he is nefarious and in nature he might actually be a thief?
Indeed. It is at the very least a rogue.
Well, what should we do with this man then?
I know it's not. 'Tis the frustrating part.
Let's ask Sadie or your friend Anne.
You're doing a great job, you three. You'll have this done in no time.
Would you like for me to increase the number of hands so that this goes faster? Many hands make light the work.
Are you asking Todd or your team members?
My team members.
Could not hurt. Oh, Anne, thou hast a bird, correct?
Yes, and there are many small creatures around here that could help. I mean, they're trying. They just can't get through.
Right, but anon, afterwards, mayhaps thou canst lay a spy of sorts. Mayhaps place your bard in his carriage and see where dost he goes. Where he goeth. Excuse me.
Yes, and then such bodements of trickery we shall receive from them. Okay, so I would like to roll my D6 Summoner of Those Beyond the Veil.
All right.
The idea is I'm going to poke at the ground, totally the ground. Yeah, and get more hands.
Excellent. Show me your roll.
That's a 2.
Oh, my goodness. That is... you achieve the near impossible, and what appears...
Millipedes. Bunches and bunches of millipedes. But when they crawl over the gold, they like carry it and it like rolls like a coin.
Like a
flips.
flipping?
Have you ever seen people do like finger tricks with coins? And that's how they're transporting all of this. And within like 2 minutes, the hundreds of millipedes that were in the spirit world here at this location, because it's a forest. So like there's lots of wildlife that has been, living its life out here, and maybe there's some ghosts here. And so anyway, sometimes they're dead, sometimes they're just from other planes, but these ones are ghosts. Anyway, so the ghost millipedes, yeah, I bring them over.
All right, Todd freaks out because he sees the ghost millipedes and he sees the wriggling coins making their way to the cart. And of course, he's torn between his sense of greed and his sense of self-preservation. And so he goes, "Good Lord!" And he jumps at the top of the cart just kind of to get away from the wriggling.
Oh, I definitely throw one at him.
A millipede?
Yeah.
He goes, "Ah!" And his arms are flailing, like trying to keep everything off of him.
Anyway, so they make quick work of it. 2,000 coins, 2,000 millipedes, done. Many hands make light the work.
I suppose I should thank you. Thank you. Please, 200, let's make it 250, and we can be on our way. And so he fastidiously counts. So you can see he's putting coins in a little sack, but you can tell he's counting extremely quickly. And it's like, all right, that should be 250 gold coins. Here you are. And perhaps I'll see you later. And he gets back on
Well, before you go, sir, would by chance you're heading to Shireford Upon Emou?
Why, yes, indeed, yes. I'm off to an investor meeting.
Well, what a coincidence. We're heading there as well. Shall we join you?
Well, how could I say no? Let's be on our
Excellent.
way. And I'm not sure what business you have there. Are you also going to the investor meeting? I don't see any cart of gold you're taking with you.
No, sir. We're just going on a trip to get Grandma's medicine.
Oh, I understand what you mean. Wink, wink. The name of the bar there is the 13th step. You'll find it just in the middle of the way.
Bartholomew's cut off like, wait, what? Bar? I suppose they do serve coffee.
So you all start getting on your way, and you can see this kind of hesitation, like he wants to just go full tilt again, but he's making pace with you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're nearing the village, it's still a bit off in the distance. You see a few billboards as you approach. There's 3, just one after another. One says, "Relaxation is just 3 miles away. Shireford Upon Emou," and it shows an attractive couple floating on inner tubes, wearing large hats and drinking out of coconut cups with small paper umbrellas. The second billboard says, "Outdoor advertising works." And the third billboard says, "Are you an investor looking to make it big? Stop by Roofies today for all your investment needs. Guaranteed results or your money back."
How is that spelled? Stop by where?
Roofies, RUFIES.
Noted, GM.
Okay. So you continue, and as you pass the billboards, Todd says, "Oh, Roofies, that's where I'm going."
What, if I may ask, I myself am trained in business. What is it that thou art investing in? What is thine venture?
Well, it's, there's a bloke there that apparently is excellent with money, and he's able to offer such huge returns. I mean, I have a few friends that have invested already, and they are rocketing up. I thought I was rich, but, not compared to them. So what I'd like to do is go from rich to super rich, and this gentleman apparently is the way to do so.
Not gonna lie, Mary's interest is a little piqued, but she was also trained by her father, who is a shrewd merchant in luxury goods, and knows when something is too good to be true. So she says, well, mayhaps you might see us there after all. This is an interesting venture indeed.
I'll say, and if you're there, great, we already know someone. I mean, perhaps we can pool our money and do something fantastic.
Mayhaps not.
Well, yes, I'd like to do a background check on you, frankly. I mean, you're good at uprighting carts, but do you have a mind for business? Please, we'll see.
Ooh. Well,
Let's not all be touchy, which is, again, the definition is easily irritated by unimportant things. So I am calling you unimportant. But only to me. I'm the only one who got that joke. So let's not be touchy.
Yes.
Be
so
like-
touchy.
Be like, I'm certain we shall all find what we need here in Shireford Upon Emou.
Excellent. So, you arrive. And as you arrive, there's a couple of significant landmarks that you see. And he's going to go off in one direction, and you can choose to follow him. But let me outline, these are all locations you can go to. So this is what you see. So in the middle area, there's a food cart section. There's a place called Nancy's Party Pony Palace. Ooh. There's a bar. And then there's a section of stores that are closed. To the right, you'll see a branch of the Bank of Guasso and a huge warehouse-looking structure called Valachenko Mart. And to the left, you see a store called Silver Tree, a place called Rexcellent Remedies, and a huge and opulent building that says Roofie's Offices. Let me know if you need any of that repeated.
Food court, Nancy's Party Pony Palace, the 13th Step Bar, closed stores, Bank of Guasso, Valachinko, V-Mart, Silver Tree, Rexcellent Remedies, Roofie's Offices.
Correct. All right.
I'm guessing Rexcellent is spelled R-X-cellent.
It
Hey.
is. All right.
Very nice pun.
All right. So, as you enter, he says, well, I'm off to the meeting. If I see you, it'll be a delightful reunion. If not, I wish you good day. And he starts heading to the left.
As Mary requested, I left a millipede in there.
Is the millipede making itself known?
No, you never see them. They're just there.
I think it would be interesting if you left the millipede like in the stack of gold, so that not like if the gold gets transferred at some point, like after this investment meeting, we can then see where it ends up going to. That could be interesting.
So it happens. Exactly like that.
All right. And then how do you like feel the summoned, or how does that work?
No, it's genuinely just a millipede. I have to roll to get it to tell me anything.
Okay.
Or for it to be intelligent enough for every time.
I see. So you see it carting to the left, and you three on horseback are doing what?
Probably to Rexcellent Remedies.
That should be our first stop, yes.
All right. So you make your way. There's a nice place right outside where you can tie your horses. And so I assume you do that. And it's basically a small building.
I don't, but that's because I respect its autonomy.
Oh, well, yeah. As you prepare to go into this quaint little place, you hear the wind horse say, "Hey, thanks for not tying me up. I will be right here. Let me know if you need something.
Oh, Kate Liff, and I like mush her hair.
I like to think all we're hearing, like Mary and Bart, is just like the sound of the wind. You know, like we don't hear any of the actual words. Like that's just that's just Anne being like cool summoner. I just hear wind coming from this horse and the occasional whinny. I'm like, 'tis odd. But alas, I have seen Stranger.
I don't think you've ever met Sadie, have you?
In fair passing, I have, but no, we have not been on adventures together.
Oh, I'm not talking about Anne now. I'm talking about Sadie Duca.
Indeed. I have heard of Sadie. Very
Sadie
nice.
she was trying to go on adventures and get herself out there and learn about the world before, well, getting married and going away forever. But now
going away forever.
Yes,
Marriage.
she'd be locked away in a marriage is what she was worried about. She wanted to get out and see the world.
Indeed, marriage is full of responsibilities. I would also be worried, but my fiance, I think, is, well, perhaps not. And she just kind of like lets that thought die.
But he also mentioning that, yes, she was a mage as well, but she dabbled in crystals. I see that Anne knows nothing of crystals, but Sadie, now, let me tell you about her crystals. And he goes on to talk about those magical crystals that made him feel so good. And I must say, I do miss those crystals.
I think it's the Sugar Ray coffee talking.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Sadie comes back from the horse. Yeah, we're ready
All
to
right.
go in the pharmacy.
Small building, styled in the manner that's warm and inviting. As you enter, you note a pleasant aroma of funnel cake. And to your left, you see a counter with a glass top where there are several ice cream flavors and treats. And to the right is a seating area that is very reminiscent of a 1950s soda fountain. And toward the back, you see a dwarf at the counter writing on a stack of small labels.
Is this a pharmacy or a sweetery? Bakery? No, not bakery. Creamery. That's what I'm looking for.
Are you saying this aloud?
Sort of aloud, sort of to the party, sort of to myself. It's soft, but it is aloud, yes.
Okay. Oh, so the dwarf hears you because it was pretty quiet in there. He goes, "Hey, customers, all right. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. We got treats over here, your medicine over here, and we got some sodas, too, if you're interested. But, I'm just getting ready for the impending, the every week, the prices, you know? And so he just keeps writing on the labels.
Wait, the prices? What? I don't know what you're talking about with prices. What goes on the weekends?
You're not from around here, right?
Correct.
Well, I don't know. So, to be honest, I don't know the whole story. I just know how it affects my independent business, okay? So, starting about, like a month and a half ago, a lot of big players were coming through with tons of gold, and then even more gold, and all the prices had to go up. They were buying me out, and I couldn't deal with it. And then my suppliers, their prices kept going up, and so now things aren't as cheap as they used to be, you know? So I'm just preparing. Seems to happen every Sunday. So I gotta get these prices ready for tomorrow.
Well, if Shireford Upon Emou is becoming inhospitable, then perhaps you could open up a shop in Nicomoy. Belike there are plenty of customers for you there.
That's true. I do have a cart, ice cream cart. I go down there. I sometimes do vegetables on a stick. It's very popular. So, I make my way down to Nicomoy, but I got roots here, you know? It's kind of... I like Shireford Upon Emou. We've seen our troubles. We've always made it through, you know? We're survivors.
I could relate.
Yeah, it's hard to leave your home, right? This guy gets it.
Bartholomew just nods, just very solemnly thinking of his own home.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I heard about that new investment place, and I would love to get in on that. Now I got all this money. I got gold coming out the yin-yang. But apparently, you got to be, like, from out of town, or you have to have had money for a while. They don't want any of this new money. And I got rejected, and so whatever. I'm just going to stick with what I know, and that's medicine and sweet treats. Speaking of sweet treats, can I help you with anything? Would you like anything?
Holden Boldy's Golden Moldays.
Oh, I don't hear orders for that very often. Okay, so, yeah, I can prepare you up a dose. That'll take a couple of hours. Tops. I'm getting pretty good at it, even though I don't get the order very often. So you got to pay up front, though. Is that fine?
Oh, yes, but before we pull in that order, we need to make sure there's no sugar. The recipient requested no sugar.
You want me to ruin the medicine? I know. Look, I've been doing this a long time. You're not going to put sugar on it, are you?
No.
Are you? And she points to each of the ladies.
Oh, they're not for me.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah,
Naps,
so...
how many doses canst thou provide?
Yes, and I plop 250 gold down on the counter.
I will say... what's that supposed to be?
Bunch of gold.
Well, maybe it used to be, but that's... Well, let me put it to you this way. Our prices were pretty static for a while, but nowadays, the HBGM, they're going for about... Well, hold on, let me look it up. He pulls up his ledger, goes down, ingredients. It looks like it's about 3,567,240 gold per dose. And you're talking about more than one dose, and this is what you bring? I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that.
This hurts my soul.
Mine's doing okay. So, I have an alternative proposition for you.
All right.
I shake my silver elf hair and my ears flap around and hit me in the face. And I'm like, I would like to use my Macritus elf skill. It's a D16, so I'm unlikely to succeed unless I expend my fate dice, which I will. So anyway, I'm going to tell you some mechanics, but the goal of this is that because you are from here and new money, and I am not from here and I'm old money, I could be your proxy to help you invest in the town and to make you go from being a moderately wealthy person to one of the wealthierest of people. And so let's read some mechanics. Okay. Fate die. In truly dire straits, where when you're about to roll with a d16, a sort of last resort option is to sacrifice the fortune die itself. This may be done before or during a cliché roll, even after you've rolled, just before it resolves. To sacrifice the fortune die, ... So we'll see if I need to do that. Let me roll with my d16. Don't resolve it. Just let me see the number.
Well, I think if you're going to use a lucky strike, you can reduce that to a d12.
Oh, sweet. Well, do I want to use the lucky strike, which for sure gets consumed, or use a fortune dice, which might or might not be consumed? I'm going fortune dice. What do you think, Mary?
I feel like this would be... I don't know, actually. I think we've got other options if this doesn't work. So actually go with what you go with your gut.
Agreed.
A decent. I literally just reached out my hand for a dice and was like, "Oh, I don't see it. I don't think it physically exists, does it?"
It's very rare. I had to look around to find one, but they exist, but they're not common.
I'm pulling up random.org and I'm setting it from 1 to 16 because that's all I got. GM, is that okay?
Yes, I trust you.
Well, I'll share my screen.
No, I trust you. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I got a D16 here, right? Okay. We all agree?
All right. Okay.
Yes, we all see it on your shared screen.
Okay.
Because
generate.
we don't trust you.
Great. It's a 15.
15.
Okay. All right. So now is when I use my fortune dice. So let's read those rules. I'm going to sacrifice that fortune dice because it has done its job in the start of the game. This is a one shot. Fortune dice doesn't do anything for you next game. So like in Risus Epic, you generally want to like increase your fortune dice the more and more you level up. But I know my character's not going to be playing Risus Epic next time. So I'm going to spend my fortune dice. So
all right.
1, announce it. Hello. 2, cast your fortune die. D8.
Correct.
That's a 1. 3, subtract that total from your cliche roll. Oh, Mother Hubbard.
Oh, no.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a
In
15,
any other
down to a
context,
14.
the 1 would have been fantastic.
And 4 damage to the fortune die, reducing it by 1 size. So from 15 to 14, and now I have a d6 instead of a d8 fortune die. Can I do it again?
I guess it doesn't. Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know.
It's okay if this fails too. So that was a 14. That's what it was. And I have a
Okay.
d6 fortune die now.
All right. So we'll let it resolve there, and then maybe if there's like a follow-up question or part of the conversation, you can try again. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, but I shook out my white elf hair, my Macritus elf ears flapped me in the face, and I made the proposal and I said, some things are more important than money. Flap, flap. Shake, shake.
No, you're
And the
sounding
dwarf
like
said-
the guy at Silver Tree next door. Yeah, he's always saying that. That's why he don't take gold. He just only takes silver.
Bartholomew's eyes raise when he hears silver.
But
Silver, you say?
oh yeah. You should drop in on him. He's an interesting cat, you know. But yeah, what you're proposing, that don't sound like a bad idea. I mean, so you'd be my proxy? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, use my hands to invest your gold.
Okay, so I know there's like an application process, and so I'm automatically disqualified. So I think if you just go like to the roofie's office or whatever, they got the application right up front. Just say you're representing, I guess, yourself, and then we can make a deal on the back end or whatever. I mean, the reason he's hemming and hawing is because of your role. Like it was an okay role, okay offer, but you've piqued his interest.
If I do well, then maybe we can form a partnership. That makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't invest in someone who I don't even know their name either. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
Give me all your gold.
You're only like the second one of yo kind of elves I've ever seen, and the other one's at the bar right now. Fancy
Other?
carriage and a... Yeah. Just like, I mean, he is just like you. I never seen him like that, except he's a lot older, you know, white hair and whatnot. Nice guy. Really nice guy.
Okay, that's my dad. All right, so
So you guys, I mean, what do you want to do with this medicine? I can't make it until you pay for it. But I mean, if you can get me in, maybe we can work it out. I can give you a discount or something.
We shall reconvene once we have more prospects.
That sounds good. I'll be here. You know, we got ice cream too. Maybe not quite as expensive as HBGM.
And what, pray tell, be the price?
Oh, it's like, it's almost nothing, like 750,000 gold.
God sack, man.
Hey, that's, in this town, that's chump change.
Inflation is no joke.
You're telling me you should run a business here.
Ugh.
What are these words you're saying? Reconvene. Inflation.
I shall explain later, Bart. We shall return,
All right.
I hope.
So before we proceed to your next step, I think it's a good place to take a break. It'll give you time to think about what your next move is. But we'll take a break. Joining us for this first half were Bartholomew.
Yes, I'm quite intrigued on this silver dollar store. Or silver tree store, I should say.
Sadie.
am I wealthy or am I just taking the dollars from one location and going to a place where they spend for... Wait.
And Mary.
Mary is frustrated.
Oh, but I know it would make you feel better.
Indeed. A review. Dear listener, we would so enjoy getting a review on iTunes from you, and we would even read it. I could even read it in Mary's voice if you don't want it to be intelligible. So, but we would really appreciate it, and we love getting feedbacks and reviews from all of our listeners. So drop us a line.
Thanks. See you soon, listeners. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Today's mid-episode shout-out is, quote, "Yo, Max, I'm writing you a shout-out because I get to say something when I sponsor FBK. To my collie Max, you've brought boundless joy to my life. My furry friend, best dog in the world." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that someone you know might smile if they listen to? Telling them about it would help us. And lastly, we have paperback, hardcover, audiobook, and more adaptations of our adventures on Amazon and Audible. Thank you for supporting us.
All right, welcome back to part 2 of this episode. Does anybody feel like giving a quick synopsis of the last half, even though they just listened to it? Can if you want to. I can fast forward it, whatever you'd like.
I'll gladly give a recap.
All right.
Roll off, roll off, roll
No.
off.
Roll off.
No, Bart already volunteered.
What? But you did too. We need to do a roll off now.
No, I'm being a gentleman and letting you do it.
Well, I mean,
all
for
right
the
then.
gentleman's sake.
All right, then. I'll go ahead and do a recap. In the morning, we were eating breakfast at Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall when all of a sudden, Nulasag and his mama, or Mima, grandmother, Sonoja, made their way into the hall and asked us to go fetch them some medicine from Shireford Upon Emou. The specific medicine was named Holy Boldies Goldy Moldies, I believe. It wasn't made very clear, but sounds very similar. And to make sure it has no sugar, because the sugar nullifies the remedy process. So we made our way over there. Mary and Sadie went off on Mary's Pegasus, princess, into the sky and happened upon Sadie summoned a wind horse and befriended it and began to ride on it and rejoined with Bartholomew, who had been run off the road by some rapscallion. His name was Todd Winston, some rich fellow. He had a bunch of gold that all spilled out, thousands of gold pieces. And the 3 adventurers, myself, Mary, and Sadie, all helped him out recovering his gold, but he seemed to have an anger issue, a demeanor of rage underneath his smile. But we helped him anyways. We got 250 gold for it, and we followed him into town, Shireford Upon Emou, where we made our way to get the medicine and realized that the medicine's price was, I don't remember the number, but it was beyond what I could count. It was something in the millions, possibly billions of gold pieces. And once we realized that, we knew we had to come up with a plan of how to get this medicine. That's currently where we're left off. We were going to be heading to different places to figure things out.
Thank you very much, Bartholomew. So, as you've just said, you are now at a crossroads. You realize you can't afford the medicine at the moment. Sadie did propose a potential partnership with Duncan. What are you going to do next?
So I think we've got 2 possible ways. This is a bit of table, like over the table talking here, little metagaming. We could go in and just kind of scope out the investor stuff, or we could use Todd somehow, or if Anne is willing to masquerade as Sadie, could go and talk to Sadie's father, who we think is at the bar, and see if we could basically use that as a way to also like get into that investor meeting, basically.
And
Those are the 3 options I see.
wait, so summarize those. We got Sadie's dad. Go to the investors thing. What was the third one?
The third one was, I don't know, use Todd Sinclair somehow, the guy we met on the road.
Todd. Okay. There's a 4th one. 5. Okay, there's 5. Wait. Okay, so okay. Motivation is They say that to be successful in life, you should give people what they want, right? When your and another person's interests align and you meet on that same page, you both get what you want done. The closed shops in town have probably created a demographic that has collected information upon the investors for the purposes of seeking their own interests, But I'm just saying, if they haven't left town yet, those people might be motivated to share information with us, anything to bring down the investors. So they might be an information source. And 2 is the Bank of Guasso. What is going on there?
Yeah, no, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, so 5 options. We've got, I don't like the Todd option as much because we've got Millipede. They're getting information for us. We've stashed the Millipede in the gold coins. They know how to communicate with a Millipede. Might be.
We'll figure it out.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, lots of options. I don't really like the Sadie's dad one because I feel like I've done some role playing already this session and I feel satisfied. 100% max bar satisfied with the role play that has happened so far. So if I don't see my dad this episode, that's cool. And
so you don't think it could be Sadie's fiance at the bar?
He's not very old, I hope.
Okay. Gotcha.
I could be. Hope not. I think Hudson's pretty young. Yeah. No, Hudson is within like 50 years of me because that's the whole point of him. He's going to last as long as I will. Right.
Yes.
Elf arranged marriages based on longevity. Yes. He should exist for as long as Sadie does.
Do you need a refresher on the different locations that I listed earlier?
I need a refresher on the residential properties around here. Specifically, I want to know which houses look like they have not been improved recently. I'm looking for the houses that have flaking paint. I'm looking for the houses that have too long vegetation. I want to go there because I think they owned the closed stores.
Okay.
But I'm open to, hey, Bart, what do you think? List options. Express preferences.
I like the idea of questioning the locals. So we should see who had their businesses closed down and how we could help or how we could reverse this inflation. Inflation.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think also the Bank of Guasso is good. Mary is business-minded, but Mary's player is not. So I'm trying to think, what is the connection? Like, there is something going on with the fact that this invested gold is being doubled, and that's pretty much impossible to do, right?
Pyramid scheme,
so like,
cough.
Yeah, so like, is the bank involved with that? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I can feel these pieces coming together, but I don't know how they come together. So yeah, I think going to the houses, getting information from locals, and I guess we could go to the bank too, but I don't actually know what line of questioning we could go with that. I kind of just want to spy on the roofies' offices too, and like just see what they do with Todd's money. That's really what I want to do.
Okay. Should we send a spy to Roofy's offices and check back with them later, so give them time to collect info?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so in character, I can roll for a summon. Maybe one that talks this time. All right, I look around. We're in a soda shop. There's candy, there's medicines, there's carbonated beverages that are medicines. I point to a little girl and I say, just checking, does anybody else see her? And if you're not comfortable with dead little girl ghost, say you see her, she's alive, she's not my summon.
I don't see her.
I don't see her.
Okay. I'm like, excuse me, pardon me, fair child.
Oh, yes?
I noticed that you have wandered over to this plane. I'm going to still dampen it, even though I got your consent. And that perhaps in our plane, there's a soda shop here that has lots of candies. Would you like for me to blur the lines between our realities so that you can have some candy? Maybe do us a quick spying favor and then go home?
Oh, I love sneaking in places. This is my favorite spot. It is also a candy store in my plane. I used to come here every day. And then I got hit by a carriage. So, there was this new candy that was about to come out in just 1 month. And I was so looking forward to it. And I would come every day trying to find it. I never saw it. But, I like seeing new places. Is there a place that there around here that's worth looking into?
There is. And won't you know it, we also have a new candy for you. I elbow Mary to get out a sugar cube.
Oh, yes. Mary will take out 2 sugar cubes because who doesn't like more sugar? And we'll just give them to Anne. Doesn't see anything there, but, trust her.
Sorry. I poke. I blur the lines between realities. I peel back the veil.
Oh, she is there. Okay. Yes, absolutely. We'll go over and say, this is a sugar cube. Here.
Well, it has been a while since I've had sugar, but we've had those for ages. I do like them, though. Do you have, 2 sugar cubes?
Yes. And does anybody still have their butterscotch? Because I ate mine.
Bart, do you still have a butterscotch?
No, I ate mine in the moment. It was a celebratory. It was like a toast between good adventurers and a grandmother.
I still have my coffee. I'll give the caramel mocha coffee with extra sugar in it as well.
What is this drink? Is it like a hot chocolate?
'Tis better than chocolate.
Oh, and she just smells it, and then the caramel just really permeates, and she's like, I love caramel. And she just glue, 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 glue. And you said it was like a venti size?
Oh, yeah.
I drunk half of it.
Okay. Well, it's gone. Like she's like, wow, I feel like I could do anything.
You did just come back to life from the grave, so really you can.
Okay, so, I was told never to take candy from strangers, but that was when I was alive. I mean, what can you do to me now?
That's so true. Wow.
So be careful when you gotta play hide and seek with these people.
Okay.
Yeah, don't get yourself caught, because what you're going to do is both a game
Yeah?
and important.
Oh, so it's like a mission.
It's a mission. We call them quests.
Ooh, I like that. I'm an adventurer.
After this, you can definitely join us in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild, because I have just created a person and I feel very responsible for this life.
You're with the Fire Breathing Kittens?
What is your name, child?
Penelope Codswallop.
Penelope Codswallop. I am Sadie Duca, and I will take care of you forever. Please survive this mission. I'm very sorry that you didn't have a chance to eat more candy, and we're going to remedy that long term. Maybe not here, but long term.
Oh, I see a lot of candy here. Wait,
The candy here is disgusting. And I take her out of the store because it's too expensive. We have rice at home. Yeah.
Why do you want a burger here? We can get a burger at home.
Yeah.
Sorry. I got you. Good move. All right. So Penelope is on board, and she is ready for a mission, and she is very sugared and very caffeinated. And as you can imagine, it's been a while since she's had either, well, never caffeine, but definitely not sugar. And so she's just bouncing off the walls.
I have an idea. 1, I'm going to ask someone who knows how to write down the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall address and put it on a paper, and we put it in her pocket so that she can be a lost child who has a tag for how to find its way home. It'll help with her disguise.
I can do that.
Okay, I also feel bad for her. So thank you, Mary.
I could do that. No problem.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, you have the better penmanship, so you should actually go do that.
Can you
Yes.
also give her something to read?
Why, certainly.
Excellent. We shall send the child with something to read to sit and read and listen. At what location?
I mean, it's got to be Rufy's offices, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Bartholomew, please give the child something to read.
With pleasure. Here, little girl, Penelope, you can have a copy of my latest pamphlet, The Inspirer.
Wow, a real magazine. Do you know there is no literature at all in the dimension between planes? So happy to be reading something again.
Oh, this poor girl.
This is the best day of my, well, what is this?
Second life.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And it's about to be better. If you check the back of the pamphlet, you'll see a crossword puzzle.
A crossword puzzle! She gives you a giant hug.
Aww.
And then she hugs Mary because you gave her the coffee. And she's like, okay, what do I do?
Simply sit and read and listen. And if the opportunity strikes, go and hide and listen some more.
Oh, okay.
We want you to find out, or to just listen, but to find as much information as possible about where this money is going. And there's going to be many people with money.
Okay, that sounds pretty easy.
It should be. You'll do great.
Yeah, I will. Let's go. Where do we go?
Oh, we show her to Rufy's offices, and we have her sit like in a waiting room chair, and we give her lots of sugar cubes and coffee.
Yes.
And a pen and some paper.
Oh, man. Okay.
Hopefully
So,
this works out. We'll see.
as you so you're on the same side of town as the Rufy's offices, so it's the pharmacy, Silver Tree, and then kind of recessed is the property of what would be the Rufy's offices. And it's this newly built, relative to the rest of the town, an incredibly opulent building that really stands out against the backdrop of any of the businesses or houses. And then you're at a distance, I assume, right? And she's going in? Okay. So even at a distance, you can see the first floor has like a glass wall, like it's floor to ceiling for the first floor glass, with a giant revolving door in the middle, and then what looks like almost lights or something coming off the floor, it's off the ground. And so she's just making her way down. Penelope has her inspirer under one arm and going through the revolving door, but she takes a couple of laps because it's so fun. And so after about 3 laps, she starts going really fast. And then
boy.
she comes out of the front and is super dizzy. And then she sees you after a while and then goes inside. Now, how do you want to have the information communicated that she receives? Do you want to just come back later and then she'll give you an info dump?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, she's in, and through the glass, you can see her sitting in a chair.
You know what we could have done? We could have had her been like like a Girl Scout cookie person and going around the offices and being like, Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, but we can't afford
Right?
to buy cookies in this town.
I know. So she'd give out the Inspirer instead.
Oh, Inspire. Oh, darn it.
I know. Oh, that would have been so good. Okay, next time.
Next time.
Yeah,
We'll do
next
that
time.
next time.
That would have been so good. Oh, and she could have charged them like 200 gold per Inspire
I know,
copy.
because that's like 2 cents.
Yeah. Darn it.
Oh man, we could have made money off of this
We
too.
could have made a bank.
Oh my god. Oh, that's disappointing.
So sad.
It's okay. Next time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to the houses now?
Yes.
Yes.
Motivation
Okay.
drives allies.
So you are in what is effectively would be like a downtown or center of town area, and the houses are kind of dispersed around the outer edge. So if you would picture like a donut of sorts, and the middle, where the hole is the main center, the city center, and then everything else, the donut itself would be around. Everything's kind of the same. You see a couple of houses that are in slight disrepair, like in the sense that things are falling behind, but they're not abandoned or like they're still trying. But as you walk through neighborhoods, you see tons of flyers asking for money for different charitable organizations or like beggars almost, but they have wheelbarrows, like asking for money.
Wow. It's a little too dystopian, GM, not gonna lie.
I was gonna say that's a little too real. Oh man, I was thinking of places
The stakes
where
are high.
I've seen
No,
that.
sorry.
Sheesh. All right.
Well, the state of affairs in this town is a lot worse than we had first imagined. In fact, I didn't imagine anything being wrong in this town till we got here.
Indeed, 'tis a crying sham to see all these beggars.
You don't see a ton of beggars. It's just like a handful, and that's throughout the different neighborhoods. Like most people are trying their best, like sweeping their stoops, or you can see they're using, they're trying to reduce, reuse, recycle because it's cheaper, like using an old newspaper to wash their windows or things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to trade a biddy, which is a hen, for some services, because at this point you abandon dollars, right? And gold. Okay, so we have to trade physical objects for value at this point, because everyone, I mean, short of dumping a wheelbarrow on their lawn with all the gold coins. Okay, does anyone have anything? Let's go to that. Bartholomew, your pamphlets.
Well, I do believe the Inspirer would inspire them to do better, but in this circumstance, they'd need more than reading material. But we can give it a shot.
Yes, let's give it a shot. They're a physical good, the price for which is completely up to us. Let's give people a good deal and get in their good graces. Can you be our mouthpiece?
Oh, of course. And I look for one of the people pushing around a wheelbarrow. Excuse me, good sir, madam. I can't tell from your backside. I'd like to share with you, share a word with you. I'd like an interview about the happenings around this town and what's going on. And I'd like to give you this pamphlet for you to read at your own leisure. I usually charge for it, but you can have it for free.
Wow. What a relief. I haven't had anything free in a long time. Well, thank you very much. Well, an Inspirer. Wow. It's got the crossword on the back. Okay, good.
Oh, you've had one before. I see.
Every once in a while. I haven't been able to afford luxuries for some time, so to get something for free. Hey, this isn't stolen, is it?
No, it's my own work. I'm the author of the Inspirer, Bartholomew, Salvador.
Well, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Can I get one of them fancy calligraphy signatures on this copy?
Of course. He pulls out his ink pen, quill and ink pen, or his, it's the same thing, his quill and ink, is what I should say, and signs the bottom of that pamphlet just for him.
He smiles, and he looks at it and says, I wonder how much I can get for this.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
But he says, but he thinks better of it and goes, sorry, it's been kind of hard lately around here. You're an adventurer, right?
Yes.
Man, y'all got to do something about all this gold. I thought nothing would be better than to just have a mountain of gold. But a mountain of gold doesn't buy anything unless you have a colossal, I don't know if mountains have for it, like a mountain range of gold. It's crazy.
So they're collecting gold, but not in giving it back to the city or giving it back to your town here.
Oh, no, they're giving it in spades. But the problem is there's so much of it, it's practically worthless. Some of my neighbors don't even take gold anymore. They're just going with silver or copper.
Silver or copper?
Yeah, they won't even touch gold.
Well, how much was something worth in silver?
I guess the same thing it always was. They just stopped doing the exchanges. It was 10 silver to a gold, but now it's totally backwards.
Interesting. So a silver piece is worth the same as it was before, but gold is now just through the roof. Or gold is practically worthless.
Yeah, I'd say so. That sounds about right. If you've got silver, you got it made.
Well, I happen to have a bunch of silver ammunition, but not so much any silver pieces. But that silver ammunition is to ward off the revenants that plagued my home, and I cannot bear to sacrifice any of it. He goes on.
Do you know the owner of Silvertree? You sound just like him.
Oh, the owner of Silvertree. I'll have to check in. I think I know who you're talking about. Because he's traveling that must be Gideon. Is that his name? Is that the name of the owner, Gideon?
I haven't been there in a while. I haven't had silver, and that's all they take. Maybe?
I'll have to check. Well, thank you for your interview. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
No problem. Let me tell you, it just hadn't been the same since that roofie's office came by. It seems like everything was normal, people exchanging goods, services for a decent price. Now, prices move every Sunday, practically. There's always some earthquake, and then all the prices go up. I don't know. I'm sick of it. I might just have to move.
Well, good sir. Thank you again for your interview. And what is your name?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask. I'll say it is Maximilian Lawrence. Well, as you conclude your interview, you hear him kind of turn to his family, and he says, "Hey, you'll never guess who I just met!" And he's waving the Inspirer in his hand, and he goes in to talk to his family.
Cool. Alrighty.
So we've got depreciation of gold happening every Sunday due to an influx of gold coming from these people investing, and they are somehow making double their profit. Is it because they're taking profits from the town? But that can't be right.
It's got to be a pyramid scheme. They've got no product.
Yeah, it's gotta. So what kind of pyramid scheme would lead to, I don't know, like what kind of pyramid scheme would you do? Like what product would you be advertising? Because Todd was saying that he has he knows people who did get a return on their investment.
Oh, the
initial. That was pretty early on, right?
That's how a pyramid scheme works. The initial people make bank. You got to be that first round of pyramid scheme people for sure. Just don't be the 3rd/15th round.
I have an idea. It's kind of silly, but Bitcoin? But that wouldn't make sense in this setting, but something like it?
I think a pyramid scheme does make more sense, but the Bitcoin-esque thing did cross my mind.
Yeah.
So you think they just like get all of the gold from these investors and then store it in the Bank of Guaso? Like you think the bank's in on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Because like the big thing is like, where then does the gold go? Because the thing is like, if you're making this much money.
No. Who is making the money? So the people who have not withdrawn their investment are not yet panicked because they feel like their profit is coming. But in the meanwhile, their money has been shifted over to another person who has withdrawn it. And overall, it's an empty pyramid. There's nothing inside it. There's no profit. There's just shifting. And somebody at the top is shifting a lot to themselves and enough to the rest to keep it going. If it's a pyramid scheme, it might not be. I don't know. But I will say the Silvertree, Bart, that's the Maximilian Loris that you were talking to mentioned the Silvertree.
Yes, and I believe I know the owner of the shop. I'm going to stop by. I was planning on going there anyway, but now it's pretty urgent. Let me walk in there.
One thing to consider is that the Silvertree and the bank are separate entities, which implies that they might not be the same person, might not be on the same side, might have different opinions about things, but they could just be two, shell companies of the same. It's an easy way to set up anyway, but we'll see. Let's go see the Silvertree. Yeah, let's go there next for sure. You take the charge. You take the lead because you said you know the owner? Perfect.
Perhaps I have a idea of who the owner is, but we shall see.
All right. So you travel kind of to the southwest direction of the town. And as you approach, the logo of the store is painted prominently on the wall. And it's basically just like a tree, but painted silver, with a slogan printed underneath reading, "Everything's a silver." And out front, you see a dwarf sweeping the stoop.
A dwarf sweeping the stoop. Well, that's not Gideon. Hello, good sir. Are you the owner, by chance, of this establishment?
Hello. As a matter of fact, yes, I am. The name's Kofi Blitzhammer.
Kofi Blitzhammer, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Bartholomew Salvador.
Nice to meet you, Bartholomew.
Yes, and I've come to the store. I'm quite interested in silver. I've come from a town known as Pine Drake. We are constantly in need of silver. I was wanting to take a look around at your wares.
Please, yes. I, too, am highly interested in silver. You know, the value is well beyond just money.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, would you let us in?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Please, you're free to peruse. And so, as you walk in, it's a lot of just bric-a-brac, random assortment of things. You'll see brooms, like a pound of salt, kites, empty bottles, toothpaste, party decorations, candy, firewood, chickens, arrows, just things that are kind of quantified in a way that a silver could purchase that thing.
Mm-hmm.
See anything you like? Oh, ladies, you're welcome to come in too. Again, I don't know if you know, I only take silver though. No gold.
Oh, I was mistaken. I thought you were a silversmith. That's my apologies.
I actually am. This is,
Oh.
The reason I take silver is, I'm from an island far northwest from here, Cycronia, and I used to be a silversmith myself, you see. That we had a lovely dwarven community, and one day it all went bad, 46 years ago or so. There was a lady that led our village, St. Helena, but something transformed her, something evil. Demonic, I don't know, but she became a lich and laid waste to everyone there. My friends, my family. Forgive me, it's hard to talk about. The only reason I survived is I was here, trading. When news came of the destruction of our land, it broke my heart, and I've been saving all the silver I can acquire to destroy her. You know, silver is the only way to destroy a lich. Must break their phylactery with a silver weapon.
Well, you seem like you need silver even more than I do. My town is overrun by undead revenants who can only be stopped by silver weaponry. And if not, they just immediately return back.
I understand, yes.
But yes, whatever silver I have here, that's not already ammunition. He takes that silver coin from before. You can have this for free. Take it.
Wow. No, please. I'm a man of honor. Please take anything in the store you like.
That is indeed the reason I'm giving this to you. A man of honor. Your family was destroyed by that lich queen, that Saint Helena. You need this to.
No, she's no saint anymore. She goes by Lady Deathskull.
That's cool.
That's metal. That's so metal.
Sorry. Keep going.
Sorry.
I'm going to start plotting for the wrong person.
I appreciate your donation, but perhaps I can give you some advice? Information. You look like you're not from around here. What brings you to town?
Oh, we came here seeking grandmother's medicine, and I don't think it's the one that we need from the bar. No, it's from the Excellent Remedies. The Moldy Boldies Goldy Moldies. Or Holdy Boldy Goldy Moldies.
The telephone game that you're playing with yourself with this title.
Well, I can't say I know anything about that medicine, but I know that all the prices in town have gone up. Are they charging gold, I assume?
Yes, and I can't even remember the number, but we definitely can't afford it at this point. We had no idea about the inflation happening in town.
Yes, yes. They say it's related to the earthquakes. Every Saturday night, there's... My whole store is shaken to bits. I have to strap everything down. It seems to be coming close to here, toward the warehouses, at the roofies' offices, I don't know. I've complained to the town, but I think they're dealing with so much money, there's nothing I say will matter.
An earthquake coming from roofies' offices.
Well, that direction at least, I don't know. My whole shop gets shaken to bits.
I don't believe those are natural earthquakes. There are things I've noticed outside of my hometown of magical things happening. I'm sure that's something is happening over there in those offices. What do you two think?
Most certainly.
Yeah. I'm just like writing down earthquake question.
Yeah.
What?
I do have a question, or actually perusing the store. Is there kind of like a nice, I'm looking for a little box or a money pouch that looks like it could be really old, but really valuable.
Yes. You see a couple of different varieties of those, but they're cheaply made. They look older and nice, but they're not super great. And some of them are just repurposed, like how somebody might use a Crown Royal bag as a container.
Gotcha.
It was something like that.
Okay. Never mind then. I don't think that would work for what I'm potentially thinking of.
So as you're talking to Kofi, you see Penelope running up the street toward the pharmacy where you brought her into this dimension.
Oh, yeah. I go out. I'm not leaving the small child to fend for herself. I run out of the store.
Oh. She's like, hey, there you are. Hey, I've got information. I did the mission.
Great job, Penelope. We've got sugar cubes for you. Here, come with us. I take her back to Mary, and I'm like, guess who deserves a sugar cube?
There's candy in this store.
Let's say outside the store. Outside the store.
Here, better yet, Penelope, relay all that you gathered. And then once that's done, I will take you into Silver Tray and get you one thing that you want. Anything.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, I go in, and I'm, I guess, short, so the guy at the desk doesn't see me. He's wearing sunglasses, and he's wearing like a really important suit. And the floor, oh my gosh, the floor it's all gold coins, and it's so bright. But it's so good because I'm able to go in and he doesn't see me because it's so bright. So I sit down, and I'm reading my Inspirer, and I'm peeking over the Inspirer, and every once in a while somebody comes in and they talk blah 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 beep 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 blah blah blah. I don't know what they're saying. Something about money. Anyway, the guy at the desk in the suit asks for like a paper or something, a ticket, or I don't know. But each time they give a gold envelope to the guy, and then they go through the door, and then he closes the door. And so there's a bunch of people meeting, and they keep giving the gold envelope, and you know how it's a mission, a quest? She opens up her Inspirer, and inside the magazine is a golden envelope. She's like, I got one of the envelopes from the stack. Pretty cool, right?
I am adopting you.
'Tis fantastic, Penelope.
I'm not a great reader yet, but I think it's important.
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly.
Is this letter sealed, or is it sort of like a flap where you can just open it?
It's open.
It's open. I'll take it out and read what's in it.
Okay, so as you peruse it, it's basically an invitation to a seminar, and it has a date and time, which is today, and the time is at about like an hour and a half from where you're at now. And it talks about meeting the CEO and networking with like-minded individuals and the guarantee of getting your money doubled or your money back, no risk. And then it has a wax seal on it, and it's signed by the CEO.
What's the name of the CEO?
Rictavio Brittlecorn.
Oh, out of character. Oh.
I don't recognize that name, but I trust Sadie's player.
I will not act upon this information. All right. I love the wording of that. Like, it makes it so clear. To the listeners of this podcast, if anyone ever doesn't tell you the risk associated with your investment, they're a bad guy.
Absolutely. Don't give them your money.
So it's like, it's nice. There's a lot of context.
Yeah. Okay. So, given all of this information, I have the beginnings of a plan.
Yes.
So, canonically, Mary's prized possession is the money that she still had on her from London. So, 1500s pence, basically. And so my thought is, if gold is depreciated and they're looking for they want to have more gold, but I'm wondering if we can go in there posing as investors, but say, hey, we have this rare kind of currency that's actually worth more than gold, silver, and copper. Basically advertise it, right? Be like, can we invest this instead? And then while that's going on, or we can attend the social networking sort of thing, someone else can go in and try and investigate where the earthquakes are coming from. I don't know. Just a general thought. Again, I don't know how money works, but I'm kind of wondering if we can, I don't know, if any of that would be good or smart to do.
Does it help to tell you that before the 18th century, pence were minted in silver?
I need to see what other currency there is. If there is a currency,
I'm Googling. I'm what is metal?
Yeah,
what is the metal in these coins? It looks like before the 18th century, there was no adulteration of the coins. They're just you have silver coins. Oh my gosh, you're rich.
Technically here, yes. But in London in the 1500s?
No, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but you came to another world and you brought your silver with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mary has purposefully not said anything about it, but it's been on all my character sheets, most of them, because this is, she's a merchant's daughter. She wants to run her own business, even though she can't in her time period. But she values this a lot. And she's basically, I'm wondering if we, if it is pure gold in some of her currency, maybe that is something where we could get a direct conversation with this Rictavio Brittlecorn and get more information that way, or just distract him so that we could spy around.
And adding to that, yes-anding, if she has pure silver coins, she could try to do a coin exchange, because they've got a foreign head stamped on them, to today's gold. And that's a way in, because she has a solid monetary backing, and anyone evil would love to take advantage of a bad rate exchange for a currency exchange. So just another opportunity for the GM. If that doesn't work, maybe this would work. Whatever, roll whatever you want. Roll with whatever you want.
Yeah, or we could even go with a lie hey, we've heard, we're traveling merchants, we've heard word that the gold coin is about to go down in value and silver is about to go up. So you might want to change your currency to silver instead of gold. I've got this new currency. Let's talk about it. And then, I don't know, just throwing stuff out there.
That'd be interesting.
Should we do this in character?
I specifically did it because it's so hard to think about these things in my character's voice.
You dug yourself a hole. Bart and me will dig you out.
I really did. I really did.
All right, we'll dig you out. I will say in character, we should do something about this problem in town. Perhaps to avoid them being out with us. Mary, surely you have some genuine currency in your wallet?
Indeed.
I forgot to... Sorry to interrupt. I'm captivated by your exchanges. I'm like, oh, this is so good. On the back of the invitation, there's additional information I forgot to convey to you.
Oh, okay. No, go for it.
Basically, it's inviting you to bring your card of gold around the back, and it will be processed by the staff.
Ooh. There's very lightly guarded carts of gold around the back of the player, thinks to herself, but is totally not going to rob them. Cough. My character wouldn't, so I wouldn't. Noted. Just bring your cart of gold around the back. Nothing bad will happen to you there.
Trust us.
I think
So,
I
okay.
think Bartholomew would like to investigate that myself. I know a bit about sneaking. I can go and listen in.
Well, you're supposed to be the good one.
Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to steal gold. I'm going to investigate. Of course, I'm the good one. I'm more worried about those tremors, and perhaps the gold is maybe fueling it. I don't know about magic, but I do know that wizards and sorcerers use certain components to cast magic. I'm sure gold could possibly be what's causing those tremors, but what they do, that's why I'd like to investigate.
So you are outside Silvertree and the pharmacy, where the girl was, right? You're still hanging around there?
Yes.
Okay, so passing by is one of the guys from the food cart area. He's hefting a wheelbarrow that has a bunch of crates of beets in them. And he's also wearing what you would consider like a backpack, but it's serving as his supplies, but also you can hear the jingling of money in there. And he's making his way back to someplace. He's leaving the food cart area. You recognize his stall, and he's coming your way. And as a mobile merchant is apt to do, he will see potential customers in you and say, "Hey, pardon me, would you care for some beets?"
How much?
Well, as you know, the prices have been going up quite a bit. I'd say about, let's see, Saturday, I reckon about 12,000 gold per beet, mind you.
Per beet.
Yes, well, I have two kinds. I've got fresh beets. I also have funky beets. They're a little bit older, but they're still good.
I do like funky beets.
Yes. Well, wonderful. Would you care for a funky beet?
Alas, sir, we do not deal in gold anymore.
Oh.
Didst thou not know that gold is not the standard outside of Shireford Upon Emou anymore?
You know, I'm glad you said that, because I'd rather deal in silver, if you have it.
'Tis silver. 'Tis
Oh.
only silver, especially coming
can
from
get
Nicomoy.
Five beets for a silver, if you like.
Well, indeed, I will. I might purchase 5 beets for a silver.
Would you care for fresh beets, funky beets, or mixed beets?
Mixed beets, please.
All right, I'll get you a sack of beets. The name's Raymond, by the way, Raymond Dropper.
He drops the beets.
Thank you for shopping at Dropper Beets. I'm on my way back home to Brindlestoke. I live down the way. It's harder and harder to sell here in Shireford Upon Emou. Used to be quite a center of finance, and then something strange been's happening. I don't know. I might not be coming here much longer.
Would not suggest it. They seem to be stuck on the gold standard, when now seems to be silver's the standard.
Well, gold's reliable. I used to say, good as gold. They say it for a reason.
Well,
You know,
now it's
ever since-
sterling as silver.
I like that. You know, ever since they sold the temple bells, seems like bad luck just keeps following me round. We used to have these beautiful bells. They'd mark the end of harvest season, and they'd bless the crops, the land for future. But Some maniac bought him about 3 months ago, and now we have to get him recast. It was he did pay a king's ransom for him, but that was before a king's ransom became a pauper's penny. You could probably buy 2 of my beats for the price he paid for the bells. That's all right. One day we'll have him back.
These bells, wait, were they made of gold?
No, solid silver, and the tones they made were beautiful. So, they were the god we serve is like a creator, a forger, if you will. And one bell was the bell of creation, and one bell was the bell of harmony. And each festival, they'd ring the bell of creation, they'd ring the bell of harmony, and our crops couldn't be better. Now, I'm a bit worried. Next year could be looking bad.
You can't eat gold.
No, indeed. My beets, they're the best beets you've ever had. But, don't know if it's gonna continue that way. Hopefully, we can get those bells recast. You know what's funny? I heard one of them bells here in town not too long ago, but it was just the once, right before one of them earthquakes. Crazy. Anywho, thank you for your silver. Little girl, I've had a good day. Why don't you have a beat on me?
Oh, yes. Penelope, you should try a beet. I don't know if little girls like you like vegetables, but they're good for you. They'll help you grow into... Well, wait, is Penelope a ghost?
No.
No, she's like a person now.
Oh, good. Okay.
I have fully brought this. Yep. Cough.
That can be explored in a future episode.
They're physically here. Is this good?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd like to imagine that Bartholomew's mind has adjusted to the paranormal since joining Fire Breathing Kittens. It seems like every episode he's in, something strange happens. And I was just like, yeah, this is the new normal. brought a ghost girl back to life, and now she's just among us? Yep, that's normal.
Out of character, if we play our cards right, we can get you a giant silver bell.
Right, but I like the story of this town. I'd like to return the bells back here to the town.
You can give them a different bell. They can have a bell out of copper. You can have... Anyway, sure. You're so good.
Well, sorry, I was going to say I'll be on my way if that's everything. I got to get home to the wife, you know.
Travel fair.
Thank you, ma'am. And he has a cap, and he tips it.
Very quickly. Dost thou think that the bell of harvest 'tis being used to harvest gold? Have a bountiful yield? Or is that...
Yes, a bell of creation. Who knows what purpose it could be performing?
Creation and then a bell of harmony. And he says that the bell of creation, or the first bell sounded, and then shortly after an earthquake.
We must investigate. Needs must.
I will continue my plan of investigating behind the Rufus offices.
All right. I'll tell you what. It is, upon initial glance, heavily guarded. It looks like the border of a military complex. And you will need to roll a target roll. And if you can get a good enough roll, you can absolutely check it out. But
I have an alternative suggestion. I think we should get a wheelbarrow and we should put Mary's silver coins in there.
I don't have a whole lot, though.
I know, it's not going to look great, but...
What's 1,200 pence look like?
Yeah.
When you said 1,200 pence, I was thinking 1,200 silver pieces. But perhaps 1,200 pence means 120 or 12.
I don't know. But let's... 12 would be really bad. So let's join this line instead of trying to rob it. Because we can sneak in this way, right? Like, that's what Bart's going for. Sneaking and not stealing.
Correct.
Okay, so let's join the line.
Do we all want to go together? Because I can also go in and still try and like find information from that route.
Mary,
I don't know.
When I knew you, it's been a while, but you had abilities.
Sorry, abilities? No, not since I came here.
Surely you remember. Back when I knew you, you were the best of fun. We would change size and go inside shops and sneak all around. And we would take one big lick of a giant lollipop as large as the church, and then we would sneak out and giggle to ourselves. You remember, right?
I don't know if she would, because this is where the cognitive dissonance comes in. So, GM, can I roll? So I have a D16 on my cognitive dissonance cliche. If I succeed, can I roll against myself? Is this a thing?
That is an interesting question.
Let me preface this by saying, if you were a witch raised in Elizabethan England to love the Lord and hate witches, how would your brain look?
Yeah, you would disconnect from that part of yourself.
Yes.
So I would say if you succeed on the cognitive dissonance roll, you allow yourself to be free from the societal demands on you.
One memory at a time.
Yeah, I think just this instance.
Can you remember that time I was definitely a bad influence on you.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, no one will miss a lick of a lollipop. Let's sneak into the store, Mary.
And I rolled, on the randomizer, because D16s don't exist in my house. I rolled a 2.
That is beyond extraordinary.
Oh my gosh.
So I would say what that amounts to is, for a moment, all the shackles of society's pressure as to what you can be and what you can't be are gone. And you are able to connect deeply with who you are truly and in your deepest sense of self. And the words that Sadie are speaking to you are come to life.
And I remember in vivid detail that adventure. It was when we were very young, maybe 6 years old. And there had been this new sweet shop that had just opened up, but only the richest of the children were able to go in there. And we so desperately wanted it. And Anne basically encouraged me and said, hey, we won't get in trouble for this, but we'll have a bunch of fun. So let's just try it and make us small so we could go do this. And Mary did. She doesn't know how. It was just instinctual, but she did. And they went and they had a bunch of fun. But then after Anne left and Mary was back at home, she was like, she actually thought about it and was like, that should be bad. And she just kind of buried that because,
your parents at church reinforcing the Lord leadeth you not until temptation, and elders
delivering you from evil.
Yeah, elders.
This evil.
Exactly.
Not realizing exactly what they were pressuring you for, but pressuring you. You are the Lord's child.
So, there's probably many more instances that Mary can't quite remember at this point, and probably more that she wasn't aware of because she explained it away in her head. But for this brief instance, she's like, oh, and you can tell her face kind of falls because she's dealing with all of those emotions. Like, I'm a witch. I'm of the devil. Oh my God. But she puts it away and she says, yes, I do remember, Anne. I think I could do it again.
Elizabethan high five.
Yes.
I don't know what they did back then.
Probably a curtsy.
Curtsies.
Okay. So if we want to go sneaking in, I can roll my uncontrollable magical power. And I think I would like to use a fate die for this too.
Like a lucky strike, you mean?
Yes.
That would reduce it by one die size.
Yes.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Are we all trying to sneak in together? We're all trying to sneak in together.
Mary's going to
correct?
magic us.
Right.
We're tiny.
But we have a better
So-
shot at succeeding if we all roll together. I'm
That's
saying
true.
you roll your magic. I was planning on using survivalist to sneak around. Sadie, do you have anything?
Do you want me to
Ghost
summon another
millipedes.
dead child? Because I
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Penelope pipes up and says, "She has me."
Yeah, I do.
That worried laugh.
I can contribute with my summoning skill, yes. And the power of friends together. We're going to help Mary accept herself.
Oh, maybe what you could do with your summoning, Anne, is summon the millipede back because it's been with the gold.
Oh,
So it'll know where to go. Yes.
yes. Walk outside. That is a very straightforward command for a millipede. Walk outside. Remember as you walk. I am here. Oh, can I roll for that, GM? Is my part of the contribution of 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Let's
my command is
go.
walk outside, millipede. Remember where you walk.
Well, I hope you all rolled low, because I did not. I rolled an 11 out of 12.
Oof. With your guys' permission, I would like to use a lucky strike to
No, don't
decrease
bother.
my.
Don't bother. I got you.
Don't bother. All right, I'm gonna roll.
The millipede.
Oh wait, no. I rolled a 0 and I'm like, 0, that's so low. No, that's a 10.
Yeah, don't worry. All right, I have one skill, and it has a d6 dice, and I rolled a 2.
That is
Incredible.
The,
Our
near
collectively, we
impossible.
got a 2. Yeah.
right. So, your plan. So let me ask this: is Penelope being shrunk down also?
Oh yeah, girl's got to join the party. I cannot
Okay.
leave her on her own.
She does a I'm not sure what that's called, a fist pump, or yes, she's very excited to join you. She's still part of the mission. Okay.
So cute.
The 4 of you shrink down. The millipede, which is now enormous, makes its ghostly way to you and beckons you.
Oh, it's
as if to
physically
say-
present, just to freak everybody out.
Yeah. But to you, it's huge.
Yes.
To them, they're like, ugh. And the millipede gets to you, kind of touches you, Sadie, with its antenna, as if to say,
I'm okay.
but, and then the antenna kind of come back and touch its back.
Okay, I climb up on its back.
All right.
Come, my friends, join me.
Yes.
On the back of
Yes,
this
absolutely.
Yes.
millipede.
Yes. Oh,
Penelope is a little bit scared.
we got you. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. She steels herself. She joins you on the back of the millipede. And as soon as the 4 of you are there, it starts wriggling its way back where it came. And the side-to-side motion is very off-putting. Like it's not something you're used to at all. But it's definitely, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but you're so small, I assume, to ride on the back of a millipede. And you walk under what would be like a rolling metal door, similar to like a garage door, but for a warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these humongous carts, similar to the one that Todd was driving, but many, many, many of them. And what you see is people taking gold out of them and putting it into one differently looking cart on the other side of the warehouse. It's very far away, but the millipede moves very quickly. And so you're seeing a removal of gold from many carts being put into one cart. And then you also see, let me see if the time frame lines up. Yeah. You see different uniformed people, like those are red uniformed people. They're taking gold out of the carts, putting it in the main one over there. And then blue uniformed people are bringing other gold and putting it in the carts. Does that make sense? Okay. And so the millipede is actually taking you to the different cart that's on the other side of the warehouse. And now it has deposited you, or it's stopped by this big cart that is being filled with multiple carts worth of gold.
Well, mayhaps we shall climb into the gold cart and see where they cart it to.
Yes.
Agreed.
Onward, millipede, into the gold cart, please.
All right. It climbs into the gold cart, and it tries to burrow into the gold.
No.
But you can signal it in a way, and it can sense your pheromones that no, that's not what you want to do, and it's able to stay on top. But you're so small that it's inconsequential. But then buckets more of gold are being loaded on top of you, so you're having to dodge that.
Oh,
Now,
let me get behind the wheel here and guide it. I am
Yes,
a cavalier,
all right.
so I'm going to attempt to control this millipede using my cavalier skill to get away from the falling gold coins.
Excellent. Let's see the roll.
A 6.
That is more than enough. You guys are rolling very well. So the millipede understands that you have an experienced hand on the reins. You know, like you've been on a mount many times and you know exactly how to control, and like your body shifts as well as moving what you need to, and the millipede can kind of detect that and starts aligning with your will as far as where to go. And so you make your way to the front of the cart, so kind of where the first gold was deposited, but not where the other coins are being deposited, and you're still small. But from your vantage point, it has a few windows, I guess, but not. It's kind of more like an armored carriage, so to speak. But you're so small that you can see through little gaps. And you hear a rumbling on your side of the warehouse. And as you peek out, you see what look like a bunch of staff in yellow uniforms. They're pushing out this giant silver bell that is suspended on a wooden arch with a rope.
Well, I think we found the bell of creation.
I just want to say tacky about the yellow uniforms for the gold people. You gotta overthrow this person. Yes.
Well, there were some blue uniforms and red uniforms. You gotta keep things in order.
Right. Color code your workers. They're people to you. So
Yeah.
let's follow that bell.
Yes.
Meaning,
we have to get off the carriage to follow the bell, correct?
yes.
Oh, maybe the Cavalier should be in charge.
Well,
So,
we need to
just
just go off the... There's an opening in the back, correct? Or is it...
Yeah.
Closed up.
You're so small, you can exit in a multitude of ways, but you're on the separate carriage, so to speak, but on the same side as where they're pushing the bell out.
I see.
And so do you want to
we'll
make your way to the bell or stay on the carriage or...
like to make our way to the bell. We're going to follow the bell next, so we need to jump out those windows. You said there were windows we'd be able to...
Yeah,
Make
like
a way
kind
out
of
of-
small fissures in the hastily armored carriage. You make your way through a crack, and you make your way, I would say, by one of the arch pillars that's holding up the bell.
Mhm.
Do you want to get closer, or what is your goal?
To follow them close enough, but I wouldn't get on top of the bell, just following it from a safe distance. Because
Okay.
it's being carted by horse?
No, it's like on a pallet of sorts, or like a platform with wheels, and it's being pushed by many workers,
I see.
kind of to the center of the warehouse.
If we can get the millipede on the platform, they'll push us too.
Okay. Let's do that then.
All right. So you were no problem. You do. There is a worker or two that sees the millipede and kind of jumps. They weren't expecting that, and then they look again, and the millipede has zipped to somewhere else, and they miss you, but they did notice you initially. So you're now on the platform, being pushed, kind of above eye level. They're pushing it, and it's the arch and the bell are above them, and they're just pushing what would be like a wall to them.
Mhm.
So after a while, the bell stops, and the workers back away, and then you see somebody with a rope that's going to pull the bell so that it rotates on the arch, and they're about to ring it. But before they do so, you see a beehive of activity around the carts that you passed initially, and everybody's backing away. Like everybody's kind of going into this back room that looks like a sound studio. It's got glass, and everybody's just securing themselves.
You guys, we are on the wrong side of the blast doors.
Yep. So that tis my thought. And remove thyself from the millipede. We gotta get everybody off.
Or just like all leave.
I'm going to get. So here's what I want to do. Mary would like to leave the millipede there so that it can get hit by the spell and multiply, presumably, along with all the gold. And then portal us out.
Oh, I'm so glad you have portals.
I don't know if that's going to be possible.
The moment you said portals, I felt better.
So the portals in particular, Mary, with what she rolled with that cognitive dissonance roll, she knows that portals are particularly her thing. Like, that is something that comes extremely naturally to her. So I would like to roll on the uncontrollable magical power cliche to get a portal to teleport the 4 humanoids into that sound booth.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
going to give you
the millipede there.
I feel really bad for my summon.
I'm going to give you a recommendation. You can follow it or not. There is a thing you can do called a focused cliche. And what that does is it allows you to shrink your die size by a number of levels, roll the die, and then after it's resolved, it grows by the number of levels you shrank it by temporarily until it's healed. So that is an option for you, as well as lucky strikes. You still have, I think, 3 lucky strikes. I don't think anybody's used one.
So in that case, I would like to use a lucky strike then.
Okay.
Decrease from a D10 to a D8. And I will focus as well 1 more psi so I can go down to a D4.
Sounds good.
And so after this, my D10 will go up to a D12.
Right. Yeah, it'll go back up 1 die size after.
Yeah, well, I got a 4.
Okay. That is classified as extraordinary, and that is enough. Like, I was going to put it like at a 5, 6.
Oh,
so
thank goodness.
You, as you see the bell like starting to sway, like as if it's about to ring, the portal appears around all 4 of you. And so the 3 of you and Penelope, as tiny as you are zoomed into that room where people are just kind of watching and waiting. And at your size, it's an incredible distance. It would be the equivalent of miles.
Can I roll a mild protective benefit for the millipede? I just want to stick it in another dimension so it can observe without being physically exploded. I'm going to poke reality and the millipede can go through and watch and not get... I don't want to... It's weird that I'm saving a bug, okay? But
no,
it's serving me. So, okay.
See, my thought though is like, what if instead of getting destroyed, it ends up multiplying or something? I don't know. Maybe it does end up getting destroyed. We don't know if it multiplies or not. So probably a good call.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, it does exactly as you say. Your rolls are amazing.
It's a D6.
It's safe. Yeah, I know. It's hard to miss. You do all but like anything that's more than arduous, you're able to accomplish.
Yeah.
So it wriggles its way to safety, even though it's in the same place but a different plane. So it's able to see. Right, exactly. So at that moment, it shifts, and then you shift right after. And then you see the bell from a different vantage point, and there's just this giant intonation that you hear the bell peal, and all of a sudden, all the carts that were reloaded start shaking violently, and then the coins on them start like popping into reality. Like, so what you see is a doubling of those coins. And so all the carts around that were initially loaded. However, you do see the cart that you were on with the millipede, the armored one. Nothing happens. But the quantity of coins that are being brought into existence is shaking the warehouse violently. And so you're having trouble staying on your feet.
Ooh.
We must destroy that bell.
Wait, hold on. What?
What?
We must destroy that bell.
I mean, I was just thinking maybe it would have been okay for the millipede to double. I see your plan, Mary. You were not risking my summon. You're so kind. Bart, what just happened?
Some sort of black magic, some devil's magic that we keep hearing about. But I'm not sure exactly what's being sacrificed here. Are they just exploiting... are they hurting the god that they worship here? That the bells were made to worship for the crops? I fear for the people, above us. I assume we're underground, right? No, we're in a warehouse.
Kind of in the rear of the offices that Penelope was in earlier.
Yeah, I fear for the...
Bart, do you remember the name of the god Raymond Dropper worshipped?
I believe so. Jim, do I
will say you do. It was Moradin.
Moradin, okay.
So as the tone fills the warehouse and the coins start creating the earthquake, for probably a full 20 to 25 seconds, there's a shaking, and then suddenly it stops. And that's when all the workers start shouting in celebration, high-fiving, things like that. And they start coming out of the room, and you start seeing people securing some of the loose coins. Some of that's the red team is putting the coins back. The yellow team is pushing the bell back, and you see that they're pushing the bell into an open, what would be a very shallow container on a container ship. So instead of a full long container that would be carried by an 18-wheeler, it's 1/4 the length. The doors are open, and then there's another container just to the right of it that is closed.
Just for context, the town sold the town. Didn't you say the town sold the bell?
The bells, yes.
The bells. They actually sold them, so there was a transaction. Well, can't really. So they weren't stolen. They were. Well, that's pretty stupid of them, I would say, if it could do something like this.
Yeah, why weren't they using these bells?
What was the name of that town?
Brindlestoke.
Brindlestoke.
And so what Ray said was they sold them because they could get new ones recast, but it would take 10 months or so. And so from the town's perspective, it's just money for them to use for the town. Just to give you context.
Bartholomew, Anne, what say you to transporting these bells elsewhere?
I think that would be theft. We have no legal claim to them.
Perhaps if they were to be mysteriously disappeared into nobody's possession.
Wow. Mary, what has happened to you? In the days since we have been friends, perhaps you've been corrupted by the foul demons of greed and avarice.
Nay, if there were corruption at all, it is by these people. I would simply like to save this town any more financial trouble.
I'm not sure how soon... there are so many words on this paper. Hold on. Where's her name? Sonoja. I'm pretty sure Sonoja doesn't need her medicine right away. We could wait until the inflation goes down after the removal of all this increase of the price in gold. And I'm sure vanishing this silver bell would do the trick.
Honestly, I possess upon me a great wealth in gold coins that I could join this group. We could multiply the gold coins, use that to buy Sonoja her medicine, and save the day. And within 10 months, the town will have cast a new vessel for their god Moradin's blessing, and that will solve itself, and they won't sell again. So isn't this a self-solving problem?
That sounds incredible. Yes, let's have you invest gold to afford the astronomically expensive medicine, and then afterwards, vanish that bell so no one will have to deal with this ever again.
Well, without the divine power, it's simply a bell. Maybe they'll sell it to you for the price of the silver to cast it, and you can have the silver for your town with all the bullets. But yeah, Do we need operate outside the law in this venture? Is anyone? I think technically we're all legal here, right?
Yeah, that's true, Sadie. But we're doing this for a good cause, for dear Sonoja's medicine, the holy boldies, goldy moldies.
For the Holden Boldies, Golden Moldies. For them, we shall participate in this scheme. I shall triple my wealth. We shall all walk away positive. We shall buy lots of candies for Gam Gam. And what we should do? What we should do is we should seize the impetus of power, triple our gold, and make the lower class no longer lower class. We shall give them some gold. We shall make changes in the whole system, empowered by our gold, to improve life for everyone. Raymond Dropper drops them beats. Shall we not also drop upon him some gift from heaven? Shall we not be the powerful ones changing the system from within?
This is inspiring to me. I will write this down in my next pamphlet. And agree with you as well. Yes. Let's uproot this system and bring justice to these good people.
Join the system. Be the ones in power. Be the ones deciding what life brings them.
And Dave be
deliver
shackled
these
by
people
the
from
system.
tyranny.
You both spoke at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it was not both in consent.
It was by accident. What did you say?
I said, and be shackled by the system. Oh, yeah.
The system has a finite life, see? It is not an infinitely spiraling problem. It is the gift of Moradin misappropriated to this spell in the hands of Shireford Upon Emou that upon 10 months from now, when it is recast upon a bell in Brindlestoke, shall be gifted back to the god's people. So they're going to lose power within 10 months' time, regardless of whether or not we benefit from it. But the question is, if we benefit from it, who can we empower with our new graces to change the world for the better, right? If we had the gold, would we do something good with it?
That would empower a few. Whereas if we were to solve the problem now, there would be more who would be able to rise back up to their proper station.
If you were a charity, who would you give money to? To be a philanthropist is quite a gift. If we tripled Sadie Duca's gold, which is immense, if we used that tripling, quadrupling, quintupling to...
I know not if I agree with you, Anne, but I do trust in thee.
I'm the devil on your shoulder.
I think we need to report this to the Bank of Guasso. I think we have a money multiplying problem.
It will end. They're going to recast the bells. Is it a problem if we join in? If I invest for us all of the gold that we possess, Sadie Duca, Bartholomew Salvador, and Mary, and also the soda shop, we quintuple our funds, we walk away, we invest in who we see worthy?
Yea, verily.
Nay,
would
verily.
be rich.
The problem
Yea,
in this town is
verily.
going to
Excuse
spread
me.
all across Guasso.
It will end. Moradin has only cast his eye aside for a second.
'Tis the demon of greed upon thine shoulder, Anne.
The implications of this will be the entire world will be drowning in gold.
No, it will end because the moment that they recast the bells, the blessing upon this one shall end. Because Moradin shall consecrate the new bell. And they won't sell the new bell because they're not dumb. Selling the old bell, perhaps a mistake, but they will not make it twice.
I see.
Why would
No,
they
it
not
makes
if thou
sense.
didst not know what the bell had been used for? Perhaps we should tell them.
We need venture to Brindlestoke. We need consult the Brindlestoke town elders for their wisdom.
But not tell them that's multiplying the gold, but that's causing earthquakes when used inappropriately. I'm not sure.
So we teleported into... We're tiny sized, but I want to look around at the people that we're looking at. This is a bunch of old white guys tripling their money. Is my dad here?
No. You're not in the section that has all the investors. You're in the warehouse with the workers.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
But you can try to navigate that way toward the offices if you would like.
I think I know what I'm going to find there. I think I'm cool with all of that. The question is what they put that money to, So big picture. With money, you can either spend the money, which rewards someone for doing a good job. You can either save that money, which now the bank can invest it in new people, right? Only bad thing you can do with money is bury it in the ground, because then it doesn't benefit anybody. So let's go to Brindlestoke. Let's let's confirm my theory, which is that the power of the bells shall be re-imbued into the new bells. And then upon confirming that, we can judge these people if they're wanting or not for their limited time transactions with the god, who is really the source of all this gold. You guys want to go to Brindlestoke? Make sure, confirm that this is... Yeah? I don't know.
Let's head there. Teleport out and...
Because if my theory is wrong, I totally am not backing them. It's not... If it happens forever, I don't want to participate.
If it happens forever,
Agreed.
then it'll be what I was imagining. That the entire world will be consumed by gold. Which is a funny prospect.
Oh. To Brindlestoke we shall away then.
All right. Just so to be clear, are you still small? How are you getting out of where you are? And are you walking to Brindlestoke, or are you going to go get your horses from the pharmacy?
Well, I would imagine that we remain small until we teleport out, and then return to normal size, get on our horses, and make our way to Brindlestone.
Does that sound right? Okay, everybody's nodding.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. That happens. Penelope's very confused. Like, she heard a lot of conversation but doesn't get finance. She likes gold because it's pretty, but she's not of an age where, like, the ramifications of money matter. So you mount your horses. You start, everybody, as you're kind of leaving the town, you see a lot of people reacting to the earthquake. Everybody's closing up shop. And some people are hanging up this sign that is very common that says, "Close until prices adjusted," because they can anticipate that this is going to be a problem. You make your way to Brindlestoke. It's very close. What you find is an agricultural community. So as you near the town, there's a lot of fields. It butts up against Rhett's Woods, and so there's a logging camp close to that side of the town. And you see, like, logging at the far side, agriculture the near side, and then in the middle of the town is a big white stone temple. And as you arrive, you see, you catch up to Raymond Droppa, who was walking with his cart, and you're on horseback.
Oh, Raymond, we have come to your town. We have something to report.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
Oh, you know that bell that was sold to Rufia's offices? Turns out they're using it.
Is that who bought them?
Yes.
Well, that's quite a surprise. I wonder, why would they buy a bell to our god?
Could we speak to the ones who sold the bells?
Well, that would be the minister of the temple, I suppose. You'll want to talk to Demophon. Here, I'll lead the way. And so he pushes his wheelbarrow. He puts it outside the temple. Doesn't bother, like, locking up anything. It's like, people in this town are good folk. You walk in and you see a guy wearing vestments that indicate his station, but they're not, like, ostentatious. They're just very simple. And he recognizes Raymond right away. It's like, "Raymond, my goodness, so glad you came to the temple. Who are these 4 people you brought with you?" It's like, "Actually, I don't think I only met this one, Bartholomew. I don't know if I got the ladies' names." So,
Where are his maids? Continue.
all right. What about the little girl?
His daughter. Continue.
Okay. Well, Rachel, they got news about the bells you sold.
Yes, we heard from Raymond that you sold the bells to this an organization, and it was Rufia's offices.
Rufus? Well, I didn't know I'd be contributing to Rufus. Well, I must say, that is alarming. I've heard negative things about that organization. I thought we were giving it to support, the fight against evil, you see. And in return, we got quite a bit of gold to do some repairs on our temple that were needed very badly.
Oh, who did you sell it to originally?
A man dressed in a very nice suit, sunglasses. His name was Walter Tebow.
I believe we've seen this Walter Tebow.
He seemed very professional, very serious.
Yes, turns out, I believe he's working for Roofies. But unfortunately, we did some digging investigations about the earthquakes that are happening at that town. And it turns out that they're using the Bell of Creation to duplicate gold.
Oh, the coughing fit. The coughing fit covered.
Oh, sir, your maid is ill.
No, you didn't hear it. You couldn't hear it because of the coughing fit.
Yeah, his attention is on you.
Oh,
He wants to help
sorry.
you.
Bert, come with me. Bart.
Sir,
Hi, this is a private aside between me and Bart.
Okay.
Hey, Bart.
Yeah.
Do you think that the priest who sold the church bell for money should be told that their god can infinitely multiply money?
No.
Okay, why'd you do that?
Because I forgot what we were supposed to ask. Like, are we...
Not that.
Okay.
Don't let this person know.
Sadie, it's been a long day, and I need one of your crystals.
Oh boy. Yeah. So do I. We're gonna go back now. That was the aside.
Penelope says,
Okay.
"Can I have a crystal?"
No.
I don't think Sadie makes any more.
Okay, they're pretty.
Okay, back to the. So I do apologize sincerely for my coughing fit.
Oh
I
no,
promise
that's
it
quite
is,
all right. We can heal you. We heal people at this temple.
Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good. Thank you. But I really do appreciate that.
It was... Oh, what was I about to ask? Oh, yes. Yes. We hear that you recast those bells and it can be done within every 10 months. And the great magic that comes with it, does it negate the magic that comes from the bells from before? Because we know that Rufius could be using it for nefarious reasons.
I don't believe so. I mean, Moradin has many temples throughout Guaso, and I don't think it'd be very prudent to have only one temple have the power of blessing all to itself. Like if every time a bell was cast or recast, and all the other temples lost the blessing, well, that wouldn't help those communities very much at all, now would it?
Yes, that would be terrible.
Should have
Now, but you
disappeared
mentioned
them.
something about nefarious business with Roofies. Roofies are bad
yes.
news as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, the activities cause earthquakes. It's
That is trouble.
disturbing the town, and they're...
That seems I mean, maybe they're not using the bells right. I mean, I know that if you were to use the Bell of Creation, for example, repeatedly, and only on something that was imbued with magic, maybe, but the Bell of Harmony would negate that. It would eliminate everything. So I don't even see why they're dealing with that.
What?
Oh, well, that's why we have the two bells. Creation is good. I mean, the land, the flowers, the trees, the crops, they sustain us. They help us to thrive. But creation for creation's sake, that can go overboard and people can lose sight of what's important. And that's why you balance it with harmony. Creation and harmony together are what feed the soul, feed the person, feed the community.
Well, thank you for this lesson, Minister.
Oh, by all means. Yes, that's what we do. If you need the blessing, I'm afraid probably the ritual takes the longest part. The bells are ready, but the ritual, that's like an 8-month proposition. But we should be ready for harvest, come harvest time, so fret not.
Well, thank you. And it has been inspiring listening to your story. I'll be sure to put this in my next edition of the Inspirer, and you can have my latest copy here.
You write the Inspirer, let me tell you. That is a popular publication here in Brindlestoke.
Well, I'm happy to hear. I'm fairly new getting around and sending my pamphlet around for people to read.
Well, yes, it is an honor to meet you, sir, and please continue the good work. And to your maids, you are, as beautiful as the day is long.
We'll see to it. Thank you, sir. Let's head out.
Many thanks. Yes, sir.
Good day, madam. And then you see, the minister and Ray just talking, laughing a little bit as catching up type of stuff.
We got to ring the bell of harmony, you guys.
What's bell harmony?
Mary, we got to ring the bell of harmony.
Gotta teleport back.
Yes, portal time. Okay, so, all right. Aren't you glad the millipede is still alive? Because the millipede has been all throughout there. And I'm going to be like, millipede, there was a second bell. I want you to take us to it, millipede. Can you do it?
The millipede in classic Disney cartoon style salutes with its first leg and then brings it back down.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I like bugs now.
If we can teleport back to the warehouse.
Yes. We got to get in town. And then we got to have the millipede direct us to the second bell. And we got to ring that bell. Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, we know where it is, though. So we can just teleport straight in there.
Can you connect with the millipede's mental map?
Well, where they put the bell beforehand, right? Or afterwards. It was in this place and there was like another thing next to it. So I imagine that's where they're keeping the other one.
Yes!
And I already saw the space.
Millipede, I'm going to set you free.
So, just to recap, you're going back to the warehouse, you're shrinking back down, you're teleporting in to which location?
I think to the place, like into that space that has the bells that we saw.
Okay. I'll say you teleport back into the sound booth looking place.
Okay, that works.
And you're small. And so from where you're at on the same side of the warehouse, like just outside the door are the two containers. They're now both closed. And then the carts that are on the opposite side, people are starting to show up to claim their carts. And then the big armored carriage that was on the near side is gone.
The bell should be in one of those two containers, correct? Believe we saw one go onto one of those containers.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The millipede takes you to the second container. You're able to creep in because you're so small, and it is dark, but there's something there that is massive.
Mary, the sound booth seems that it restricts the effects of the bell when rung. Is it possible, you've been creating such amazing portals, is it possible for us to portal this bell to somewhere where it can be heard by all the town, all of Shireford Upon Emou, when it is rung?
I know the perfect
Mayhaps.
place. But
which place?
The center of town where the food courts are, where the food court is at.
It's radially directioned. Yeah, everyone will hear us if we go there because it's the middle.
Could you get a portal there for us?
Absolutely.
Okay,
should I roll?
So let me see. Well, yes, you're definitely going to roll, but depending on how I understand the situation is going to make the target. So you're small, like riding on a millipede size small right now, right? And the bell is massive, even if you're normal size, right?
Maybe we get big just for the last moment.
Yeah, can we get big?
Make this on ourselves?
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be an issue, so I won't make you roll for it.
Awesome.
But if you're going to portal a mega massive silver bell that is magical to the center of town, like quite a distance, that's going to be almost impossible.
Oh, okay. Let's use those 3, right? We rolled and we got 3, right?
Lucky strikes?
We got 2.
Let's use all 3.
I don't think
more
you can
lucky
use
strikes.
3. You can't use them at the same time, but you can focus a cliche on top of a lucky strike if you'd like.
Can we participate as a group? Because I have a D6.
Describe how you would help.
I would use my summoner of those beyond the veil because I would send the kid to the town square to clear it.
Okay.
I don't want civilian casualties. And I think a little girl saying, oh God, nobody believes little girl. Maybe I'll try the opposite effect. We're going to have a little girl bounce house fun time here, and it's going to cost you 50 million gold to enter because I'm a pretty princess. I'm going to have her pretend, right? Mm-hmm. You can do this, little girl. You can drive all the adults away. You just got to be really into Baby Shark. Do, 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 do. And then they will all flee.
So she's, this whole time, the caffeine has been kicking in. So she's like even more escalated. You know what I mean? So you're on the cusp of a crash, but she is raring to go. She's like, I can scare people. Yes. Let's do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. You want to make them be your friend, just very enthusiastically.
Yeah, I love friends. Yeah, we can be friends. Friends. How many friends? How many friends do I get?
All of them.
The whole town square.
Yes. And she starts running to the town square from the warehouse.
So that's my role.
As for myself, I am used to having a bell tower at the center of my hometown, Pine Drake, and we would ring that bell anytime a revenant would attack. But historically, that bell rang out as a sign of us ending the tyranny from the nobles from Summerfell. So I know exactly how to ring this large, heavy bell using my marksman skills to climb up and get that ring as hard and as fast as I can during the revenant attacks. I have much experience with it. It is pretty tricky though.
You got this. Woo!
Go ahead and tell me, so is it Lucky Strike and we're focusing a cliche?
Yes.
Is it the same cliche you focused before?
Oh, yeah, it would be.
So it's damaged?
Wait, use a different cliche. What are your cliches? What's your lowest dice right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's suspicious of witches. I don't think it'd be applicable. It's not appropriate.
I'm saying you can still focus it again, but it would just get damaged again. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
yeah.
You might fall unconscious after this.
Yeah. Well, I'm at a D12 right now after it was damaged.
So you can focus it up to 2 times and still be within bounds.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
You won't die.
No, that's true.
So that'll be D8. And then do you want to use a Lucky Strike on top of that?
Yeah. Lucky Strike. Yes. So a D6.
Okay.
Can I focus as well?
Yes, you can focus.
This is going to be a group effort, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What are you at now?
I could focus it 4 times.
No. You can focus it as much as if the penalty goes past D20, you can't do that. But like if you're at D10, the penalty would be, so D12, D16, 3 times.
I'm at D10.
So you can go to D4 is what you'd be able to go to.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Nice. Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Well,
I'm just rolling my normal D6.
It's served you well so far.
It's a 3.
All right.
Oh, good. I got a 6.
Bartholomew?
Show me that D4, Bartholomew.
Oh, I already did. I rolled a 1.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
All of this happens at the same time. Mm-hmm. In a sugar-fueled and caffeine-heightened rush to the town square, the little girl slowly grows back to her normal size. At the same time that you grow to your normal size inside the container, she is able to convince people to give her 50 million gold for her party, which drives everybody away. Like, it works like gangbusters. There was one food cart left, and they packed up and got out. And everybody's gone. And she's so excited, one, to get friends, but also to do the mission. And she's just like, yeah. Meanwhile, the portal opens, and it's much easier, you find, that you're bigger. And this giant bell gets pushed through the portal and ends up, like, in the middle of the town square where you plan it to be. Now, that's what I understood the plan to be. Are you also going through the portal?
Yes.
Okay. You go through the portal as well. And then Bartholomew was going to get ready to ring the bell, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you ring the bell, and there is a harmonious tone, just like this dulcet sound that fills all of your bodies and gives, like you just feel filled with hope and joy. But as the bell resonates through the town, you start hearing another earthquake. And what ends up happening is you see kind of like these bright flashes everywhere. And there are some loose gold coins in the parking lot where you are. They're just a handful are practically worthless. But you see them shake. And then two that are close to each other will combine into one in a flash. And that happens over and over and over again. And so many of the coins inside residences and businesses start blasting holes through the walls.
Uh-oh.
And as the coin keeps recombining into itself, and then the floor of the lobby of the roofie's offices was paved in these gold coins. And so there is a massive shaking of that building, so much so that it collapses. And then the blasts just amplify the destruction of that place until you see the coin that's in the parking lot, but it zips away from you toward the roofie's offices. And then the earthquake stops. And people start exiting their homes and businesses like, 2 earthquakes, what's happening? And they're just trying to make sense of the whole thing.
Indeed.
We didn't help the good guys, though.
Well, the good guys
just...
can help themselves now.
So, is there anything else you would like to do at this point?
Certainly no philanthropy.
Need to get the medicine.
Yes, let's get the medicine and get out of here.
Yes.
All right. So you go to Rexcellent Remedies, and Duncan is there, and he's trying to sweep up the debris of the coins leaving his store. And he's like, what happened? Weren't you sent to help? Is this being my proxy to invest, and now all my money is gone?
All of your money is now worth something.
Yeah, I got none of it. And so the value of nothing is nothing. I'm not very happy. All I've got are these ice creams and this medicine, and I don't even know what the price hit at now.
We have silver. Would you possibly offer us for sale some 3 pieces? Just 3 pieces of Holdy Boldy's golden moldies?
Or 250 gold paces.
Real gold pieces.
Well, I don't even know what that's worth right now. You know what I mean? Until all this stuff shakes out, I don't know if I could trust that. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I will take the silver. I'm not going to sell you 3, though, because they expire real fast, you know? So maybe 2, but no more. Like, I'm doing this for your own good. 3 is too much. So I'll do 2, but we'll go to the old exchange rate. You got 20 silver worth? 20 silver coins, maybe?
Oh, Sadie definitely has that.
You have it on you right now? You're going to give it to me right now?
Right now. She plunks it on the counter.
Oh, my goodness. Why didn't you start with this in the first place? This would have saved us all a lot of time. So he collects the 20 silver. And he says, okay, come back in about 3 hours. It'll be ready, and I'll even gift wrap it for you. And so he goes in the back. You hear the initial, squelching of a giant grub exploding type of sound.
Ew.
This isn't there's some gross stuff involved. Anyway.
Oh, no, I like bugs now.
So he's preparing that. So you have a couple hours if you want to do anything in the meantime, or you can wait and just pick up the medicine.
This is a good time to say, does anybody have anything else they want to do in this town?
I think a certain girl has earned herself a pony.
A pony?
Yes. You're part of the team now. And the only thing missing is you having your own horse. Well, I remember when I was a child your age, and then I started taking her to the party pony palace. where Bartholomew is going to gift her a pony. He remembers him when he was gifted one.
Excellent. I will leave that negotiation for outside of the episode, given the financial chaos that's currently embattling the town. But we'll say that happens. She gets a pony. She's thrilled. She feels like a hero. Like, she feels like she was an integral member of this team and that you could not have done it without her. And she just feels so heroic. And on the first day of her new life, or temporary life, or however you want to do it, she couldn't feel better about herself and what she's
forever,
done.
GM.
Okay. Yeah, well, however you want to handle that. And then I will say that will conclude the episode. You get the medicine. You bring it to Sinoja. You see the worst look on a person's face possible as she takes the medicine, but almost instantly she's like doing cartwheels and doing, you know, that Russian dance where you kick out the legs while you're crouched?
Wow. Whoa, Gam Gam. Don't hurt yourself, Gam Gam.
No, I feel better than ever. And so she's thrilled. Nulasag is feeling great. The one, I guess, epilogue that I will add is that the gold that was in the armored carriage is Rictavio's gold. And that is all real gold. And just to give you some insight as to what was happening, he was exchanging people's real gold for his duplicated gold, swapping it, and he was keeping, because he knew that this was going to go belly up at some point. And so now he is sitting on millions, maybe, of gold coins, and he is now empowered to do something in a future episode. GMs. Ha ha ha, Rictavio Brittlecorn. But you got the medicine. You brought a girl back to life. I think there's a lot. Oh, yes. And then there's still the matter of the original magical duplicatable coin that is in the rubble of the Roofie's offices that is still to be found. So, hey, what an adventure. I'm so glad you guys made the choices you made. That was so good.
Man, those GM feels.
Any other last thoughts before we conclude?
I'm really excited to listen to the other group because I feel like they probably didn't do the same thing we did.
Oh my gosh, I know. I feel like there's a lot of character focus in our group, but I'm excited to see what happened with the other group.
Oh yeah. Yes. Being the first to hear both, it's excellent. You guys both did great. So, joining us in this episode were Mary Elizabeth Stewart.
I have some trauma to unpack.
Sadie Duca.
This paperwork for adopting you, Penelope, is very long.
And Bartholomew Salvador.
This is quite the adventure, and I got to meet 2 new companions.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
On Arts Educators Save the World, we talk with artists and their mentors to discuss the transformative work that happens in arts education. We began with Lin-Manuel Miranda and his elementary school music teacher, and mine, Barbara Ames.
The direct education we got from Barbara, it was life-changing.
And since then, we've spoken with Cecily Strong, Josh Radner, Annalie Ashford, Robert Lopez, and so many others, each with their mentors. Join us again as we begin Season 2 of Arts Educators Save the World, available everywhere.